Chapter 1768. Tianyang and Huang Chuan settled down in the great metropolis world. Great metropolis world was changing every day. The appearance of the eighth overlord attracted many people to join the invincible palace, especially the heavenly gods who had been wandering outside. They all hoped to join a powerful faction. The invincible palace was the best choice. If they joined now, they might even become a founding elder. This was impossible in other factions, because they didn't have the qualifications. The invincible palace had just been built, and it wasn't well known. Now was the best time to join. When the two received Di Tian's message, they were both shocked. Information on the dragon race? Tianyang's heart skipped a beat after sending them out. A strange look flashed across his face. Is Di Tian going to make a move on the dragon race again? After the incident with the weapon refining sect, Tianyang didn't dare to underestimate Di Tian's actions. If he had reacted in time, he would have gained far more benefits than now. Once this thought appeared, it couldn't be stopped. The dragon race was a powerful race in the domain. The phoenix race and a few other limited races were considered the strongest races in the domain. Every race was a colossus. It was unbelievable that Di Tian was going to make a move on the dragon race. Go and investigate immediately. Also report to headquarters. Tell them to send us the most detailed information on the dragon race. Tianyang was decisive. Whether Di Tian was going to make a move on the dragon race or not, it was a good thing for Tianyang. On the other side, Huang Chuan was equally shocked. His actions were the same as Tianyang's. He didn't dare to underestimate Di Tian anymore. If Di Tian could make the dragon race suffer, it would definitely be a good thing. Master, did I hear wrongly? You want to bring us back to the dragon race? When Nine Dragon King was called over, he didn't know what was going on. When he heard that he was going back to the dragon race, he couldn't stay calm anymore. Nine Dragon King had been looking forward to this day for a long time. But now, he wasn't interested in returning to the dragon race anymore. Ever since he came to the great metropolis world, the dragon race's life had been very comfortable. Nine Dragon King didn't want to go back. No matter how good the dragon race was, it wasn't as good as following Di Tian. Ever since he followed Di Tian's growth was terrifying. Back when he was in the Dark Knight Galaxy, his strength had not been too high. However, after he had gone out, his strength had advanced by leaps and bounds. He had even slain the powerful 5-star celestial gods of the crafting sect one after another. Right now, there were many people who referred to Di Tian as a god-slayer specialist. This was because the number of Empyrean gods that had died at Di Tian's hands far exceeded the number of Empyrean gods that had been killed by ordinary Empyrean gods. Nine Dragons King saw all of this. Recently, Di Tian had become the eighth overlord. His status and influence were already on par with the 8 sects and the 7 overlord. This kind of speed was not something that just anyone could compare to. For the sake of the dragon race, Nine Dragon King felt that following Di Tian was better than returning to the dragon race. Looking at the current Yun family, their influence in the Dark Knight Galaxy was mediocre. Right now, the Yun clan was in charge of the invincible palace in the great metropolis heaven, and was like a steward. You didn't hear wrongly. Back then, when I brought you out, I promised you that one day, I would bring you back to the dragon tribe. I will never forget my promise. Lin Fei wasn't sure what the Nine Dragons King was thinking. Bringing the Nine Dragons King back was, in fact, for the dragon tribe's godheads. The dragon tribe had a habit of collecting treasures. On top of that, they were one of the strongest tribes. They definitely had a lot of godheads. The mid-grade celestial god weapons, cultivation techniques, and clones that he wanted all required godhead. With a legitimate reason to make a move, how could Lin Fei miss it? If it were in the past, Lin Fei might have been wary of the strongest tribe. Who knew, there might be some old monster that could summon a God King expert. Although he was only a 1-star God King, his attack power would increase by 5 times. Even if he encountered a 2-star God King, he might be able to hold his own. This was where Lin Fei's confidence came from. The 9 Dragons King was touched. He knew better than anyone that the dragon tribe was still very strong. The 10 Dragon King bloodlines had many experts, and Di Tian had promised to bring them back. One could imagine how difficult it would be. Master, it's fine if you return to the Dragon Clan. Our Dragon Clan is living a good life. I believe that my bloodline of Dragon Clan will not hold any grudges against you. This old man does not wish for Master to fall into danger and gain another enemy. The 9 Dragon Kings said emotionally. Lin Fei had never imagined that the 9 Dragons King would say something like this. His heart warmed. He understood very well what the 9 Dragons King meant. Wasn't the 9 Dragons King worried that he might be surrounded by the Dragon Clan's experts? Although the crafting sect was strong, with Ancestor Shur, a 5-star heavenly god, overseeing it, their foundation was not bad. However, compared to the strongest tribe, the Dragon Tribe, the gap was too big. The strongest tribe, the Dragon Tribe, was born to fight. It was not something the crafting sect could compare to. They had more old monsters than the crafting sect. Among the old monsters at the 5-star heavenly god realm, there were at least 8 to 10 of them. Their powerful bodies allowed them to fight against 2 5-star heavenly god realm experts, and 8 to 10 of them could fight against more than 25-star heavenly god realm experts. This was the confidence of the strongest tribe. Lin Fei suddenly burst into laughter. Dragon King, you were the strongest Dragon King in the past. Have you lost your fighting spirit after so many years? Even I, as your master, am not afraid, so what are you afraid of? In my eyes, the Dragon Tribe is just that. You're my people, so as your master, I have to stand up for you. Not to mention, I have a lot of enemies now. The 8 major sects hate me to the core, and so do the 7 overlords. Since there are so many of them, one more won't make a difference. Don't you think so? If you're still the strongest Dragon King in the past, then come with me. I'll tell the Dragon Tribe that you were the strongest Dragon King in the past, and you're still the same now. It had been a long, long time since the 9 Dragons King heard the words strongest Dragon King. In the past, for this bloodline, he had led his people into the Dark Night Galaxy, drifting year after year. His mentality had been erased, and he only hoped that his people could survive and multiply. At this moment, the blood in the 9 Dragons King's bones was ignited once again. Yes, I was the strongest Dragon King in the past, the future Dragon God. If even Master isn't afraid, why should I be? 9 Dragons King's eyes shone with a fearless fighting spirit. No, this old man isn't afraid. 9 Dragons King's blood boiled. This old man is willing to accompany Master. Even if it's a mountain of daggers or a sea of fire, I won't even frown. 9 Dragons King seemed to have returned to the days when he was in high spirits. Lin Fei was satisfied. Good, that's more like it. You're the strongest Dragon King, the successor. If you weren't at the Dragon God realm, how could you be the strongest Dragon King? Now, I'll help you become the strongest Dragon God. Chapter 1769. Boom Boom Boom. With Lin Fei's help, 9 Dragon King's aura continued to break through. With the support of his thick god force, he broke through the half-step heavenly god realm and stepped into the true heavenly god realm, becoming a heavenly god. 9 Dragon King's strength soared after becoming a 1-star heavenly god. He could also use many heavenly god secret techniques. Originally, a 1-star heavenly god's battle prowess was comparable to a 2-star heavenly god. Lin Fei was not surprised at all. The dragon race was known as one of the strongest races. Fighting across realms was as easy as drinking water. There was nothing to be shocked about. Moreover, 9 Dragon King was the most talented among the 10 Dragon Kings. His battle prowess was not exaggerated. Lin Fei was not stingy. He rewarded 9 Dragon King with low-grade divine armors and low-grade divine artifacts to improve his battle prowess. In order to stabilize his battle prowess, Lin Fei sent 9 Dragon King back for a while. Wind Cloud Commerce and Hell Heaven Commerce also sent news of the dragon race in the shortest time possible. Tian Yang and Huang Chuan received a portion of the crafting sect's resources as they wished. They were overjoyed. With this batch of resources, they could suppress world commerce and widen the gap between them. After probing, they found out why Tian wanted to go to the dragon race. It was because of 9 Dragon King. What happened to the dragon race in the past was not a secret. It was not difficult for the two sects to find out. They could not help but mourn for the dragon race. The crafting sect was swept clean and about to be removed from the world. They did not know what happened to the dragon race. They were looking forward to it. Fellow Taoist Tian, if you go to the dragon race and have the opportunity, why not bring back some god bones? Our Wind Cloud Commerce is willing to buy them at a high price. Tian Yang said with a smile. Huang Chuan did not want to fall behind. Hell Heaven is the same. Both saw an opportunity. They could not miss such an opportunity. Whether they could get it or not, it was not a problem to say it first. That's easy. Lin Fei agreed readily. After sending the two off, Lin Fei flipped through the information. He had to admit that the information sent over by the two sects was very detailed. There was nothing missing. One of the strongest races, it really lives up to its reputation. Lin Fei flipped through the information and sighed. Just the Dragon Clan alone has a total of 10 bloodlines. Although the 9 Dragon King bloodline is missing, there are still 9 Dragon King bloodlines left. Each bloodline has given birth to countless experts. Half-step, heavenly gods and heavenly gods are also considered a huge number. Lin Fei was not afraid at all. I don't believe that the Dragon Clan has a god king overseeing it. Lin Fei closed the information and gained a rough understanding of the Dragon Clan. The news of the Dragon Clan returning to the Dragon Clan's base camp still made the entire Dragon Clan extremely excited, especially some of the older clansmen, who were looking forward to returning. Most of the clansmen had no interest in the Dragon Clan's headquarters. They were very satisfied with their current life. With the backing of an overlord, a professional god-slaying expert, the dragon race grew bolder and bolder. It would not take long for them to regain their domineering and peerless self. The 9 Dragon Kings' ascension to Heavenly God also made the entire Dragon Clan excited. Their bloodline finally had a heavenly god. For this day they too had been looking forward to it for a long time. If not for the lack of resources, their bloodline would have produced a heavenly god long ago. While 9 Dragon King was consolidating his cultivation, Lin Fei was not idling around. He took out the killing formation he had obtained from the heavenly dragons and 6 tigers and set it up outside the great metropolis heaven. Using a vast amount of divine stones, he set up the killing formation and hid it in the void. This was also one of the reasons why Lin Fei could go out without worry. As long as this killing formation was activated, it could kill a 4 or even 5-star heavenly god. This kind of attack could be used 3 times. For these 3 times, Lin Fei could be said to have invested a lot of capital. Now that he had a notorious reputation, no one dared to cause trouble. Leaving a heavenly god behind was enough. On the 5th day after 9 Dragon King stabilized his cultivation, Lin Fei kept the Dragon Clan in the battle fortress. After making arrangements for his family, he set off with the Dragon Clan to the Dragon Clan's base camp, the Divine Dragon Domain. The Draconic Divinity Domain was more than a dozen great domains away from the great metropolis realm, and the distance between each domain was enormous. Only Lin Fei's battle fortress would be able to traverse the distance in a short amount of time. Inside the battle fortress, most of the Dragon Clan went there, except for some who were unwilling to go. Long Xianming, the Great Elder, also went there. It was the place where he grew up. He also brought his son and daughter there. The battle fortress was very fast. One after another, it passed through 7 or 8 domains. During this time, no one noticed that the battle fortress was moving. At this speed, it would not take long for them to reach the divine dragon domain. Master, there seems to be a branch of the World Commerce Chamber in the domain ahead. Do you want to go there? Little Fiend sat on Lin Fei's shoulder, swinging his black inverted triangular tail. World Commerce Chamber? Lin Fei had some impression of the World Commerce Chamber. Back then, the third young Master Feng had acted tyrannically because of his powerful background. In the end, he had been banished to some unknown place. Lin Fei did not have a very good impression of the World Commerce Chamber. That's right. Don't you need godheads? You might be able to obtain some godheads if you go there. Anyway, you have a reason to make a move. Moreover, everyone in the entire domain knows about your fierce name, Di Tian. Little Fiend egged him on. At the mention of godheads, Lin Fei was really tempted. He was going to the Dragon Clan to obtain godheads. Along the way, it was not impossible to collect some interest from the World Commerce Chamber. After all, the third young Master Feng had offended him. That makes a lot of sense. As a demon god, I should also pay a visit to them. Lin Fei activated the battle fortress and entered the divine dragon domain. Along the way, Lin Fei did not disguise himself at all. He went straight to the most bustling city in the domain. The appearance of the battle fortress still scared the passers-by. They thought that an overlord was coming. The ruler of this domain was a 6-star heavenly god. His name was Heavenly Soul Suppressing God. When he learned that an overlord was coming, he immediately showed himself. No overlord could be offended. There was nothing wrong with treating the other party well. May I know which overlord has come? Please show yourself. Heavenly Soul Suppressing God transmitted his divine sense to the battle fortress. I am Lin Fei of the Invincible Palace. I am just passing by. I have no other intentions. Lin Fei replied with his divine sense. Suddenly, there was no response. This made Lin Fei very depressed. Was he really that scary? Heavenly Soul Suppressing God's face turned pale with fright when he heard the words, Invincible Palaces Di Tian. Why had this fierce god come to his domain? And why was he swaggering around? He was a 5-star heavenly god powerhouse who had easily killed the weapon refining sect's 5-star heavenly god. Everyone knew about his ferocious reputation. Moreover, since this person had made his debut, no less than 20 or 30 heavenly gods had died at his hand. He was a true god slayer. He could not afford to offend this fierce god for now. If he was just passing by, then so be it. What did it have to do with him? Chapter 1770. Di Tian didn't reply. Lin Fei couldn't be bothered to say anything else either. As long as Di Tian didn't provoke him, everything was fine. The battle fortress swaggered forward. The Heavenly Soul Suppressing God was also very concerned, afraid that Di Tian would wreak havoc in the territory. As long as it didn't cross the line, the Heavenly Soul Suppressing God wouldn't care. After all, Di Tian's nickname of God Slayer wasn't for nothing. If he really did kill a few heavenly gods in the territory, the Heavenly Soul Suppressing God wouldn't be able to do anything. The Heavenly Soul Suppressing God didn't say anything. He just let the battle fort move forward. Apart from cursing Di Tian in his mind, he could only watch. It's going to the capital city? The Heavenly Soul Suppressing God watched as the battle fort appeared in the sky above the capital city. Could it be that a family offended Di Tian? Di Tian was infamous in the territory. Not only had he offended the 8 great sects, but he had also offended a few of the 7 overlords. There were enemies everywhere in the territory, but he was still alive and well. The most terrifying thing was that Di Tian's strength was unfathomable. Even Ancestor Sure of the weapon refining sect had been killed. No one dared to fight Di Tian unless their cultivation realm was high enough to suppress Di Tian. In the sky above the capital city, the huge black mass also startled the people on the capital city. A battle fort. It was the most powerful weapon that only overlords could wield. No one understood why. Which overlord had come? I am Overlord Di Tian. I have something to discuss with the World Commerce Chamber of Commerce. Unrelated people, leave now. Don't get dragged into this mess. The battle fort disappeared, leaving only a black-clothed man in the sky. His calm voice spread throughout the entire capital city. The great demon Tion is here. Let's go. The bustling capital city suddenly became quiet. The people on the street had also disappeared without a trace. The street had become empty. Am I that fierce? Lin Fei asked Nine Dragons King. Nine Dragons King replied. Not at all. Lin Fei descended from the sky and appeared in front of the World Commerce Chamber of Commerce branch. The entire World Commerce Chamber was in a state of panic. Why did this fiend come to the World Commerce Chamber? A person's name was like a tree's shadow. Tion's name would have a great impact on anyone. He was someone who specialized in slaughtering God. No matter what cultivation base you had, you would still die in his hands. What should we do? The president of the World Commerce Chamber of Commerce's branch was a 2-star celestial god. Normally, no one would offend the World Commerce Chamber of Commerce. It was enough to have a 2-star heavenly god overseeing it. Today, however, it was not enough to face a demon god and a god slayer expert, Tion. Activate the array formation. No matter what Tion's motive was, it couldn't be anything good. There was nothing wrong with opening the array formation first. Boom! When the restrictive spell formation was opened halfway, Lin Fei, who was outside, smashed the restrictive spell formation with a punch and swaggered in. He disappeared again and reappeared at the position of the 2-star heavenly god. I came to visit your World Chamber of Commerce, but you actually opened the restriction formation. What's the meaning of this? This 2-star heavenly god felt uneasy as his sharp gaze swept over him. He didn't even dare to make a move. He laughed dryly and said, Our World Commerce Association can't wait to welcome the arrival of an overlord. Activate the array formation. It should be our subordinates messing around. I will warn them. Lin Fei didn't think so. If the World Commerce Association welcomed him, they wouldn't have opened the restriction formation to prevent him from entering. There's no need for a warning. I heard that the World Commerce Association has a lot of things. It just so happens that I'm lacking a lot of things. I'm interested in your items. As soon as he finished speaking, chaotic voices came from the World Commerce Association. Lord, it's bad. People from the dragon race are here to steal our things. Lord, we can't stop them. Thugs, a bunch of thugs. Voices came from below. The 2-star heavenly god felt goosebumps all over his body from Tion's stare, but he couldn't do anything. He had no doubt that if he made a move, he would be destroyed by Tion. Quiet, all of you, quiet down. This is an overlord taking things. What's there to make a fuss about? The 2-star heavenly god shouted at the people below. It was already a mess below. The dragons that came in were all fierce and ferocious. As long as it was something good, they would take it away. A portion of them broke into the treasury and looted it wantonly. Anyone who came out to stop them would immediately be beaten to the ground and their treasures would be taken away. How pitiful would that be? Lin Fei patted the other's shoulder. Not bad. You're very tactful. Don't worry, I won't kill you. That's right. Where are the godhoods of your branch? The 2-star heavenly god's expression was very ugly, but he didn't dare to show any anger. He said like a chick pecking rice, I have them. I'll give them to you right now. At this time, the 2-star heavenly god was thinking about nothing else but how to satisfy Tion. As long as Tion was satisfied, he might be able to survive. Everything else could be discussed later. Lin Fei was very satisfied. People who knew what was good for them could live longer. Lin Fei didn't care about the items of the World Commerce Association. Other than divine stones and godhoods, he could ignore everything else. 53 godhoods. The World Commerce Association is very wealthy. Lin Fei glanced at it. 53 godhoods was a good harvest. Apart from this, the other took out a storage ring. There were low-grade divine stones and some mid-grade divine stones inside. All the valuables of the branch are here, the two-star heavenly god said in a low voice. Lin Fei led the dragon tribe and swaggered out of the capital city after a round of looting. Everyone in the World Commerce Association's branch lost their temper. Many of them were bruised and swollen. The only thing was that no one died. At most, they were injured. The heavenly soul-suppressing god was also shocked when he found out that Di Tian had looted the World Commerce Association's branch. Not many people dared to rob the World Commerce Association's branch. Di Tian is really ruthless. He robbed the World Commerce Association openly. I wonder who in the World Commerce Association offended Di Tian. The heavenly soul-suppressing god shook his head. Fortunately, Di Tian didn't attack other places after robbing the World Commerce Association. The heavenly soul-suppressing god heaved a sigh of relief when he left the territory. The robbery of a World Commerce Association's branch had nothing to do with him. He was most afraid of being targeted by Di Tian. In any case, there was someone else to worry about. At the same time, the heavenly soul-suppressing god sent a message to the other heavenly gods. They could offend anyone but Di Tian. If anyone offended Di Tian, he would be the first to deal with them. Awesome! Long Xiantian also looted many treasures. To the dragon race, everything was useful. This was a great feeling. It was the same for the other dragon tribe members. Basically, all of them had gained something. It was just a matter of time, but it made them happy for a while. They could only dream about robbing the 3 top chambers of commerce. They really didn't dare to do it. Chapter 1771. Who was the fiercest recently? It was none other than the 8th Overlord Di Tian. In the vast territory, as long as Di Tian passed through the territory, the World Commerce Chamber's branches were wiped out by the ferocious dragon tribe. The dragon tribe would not let go of anything that was presentable. Even the materials and stones on the ground were dug up. The entire World Commerce Chamber's branches were riddled with holes. Anyone who dared to resist along the way would undoubtedly be surrounded and killed. Heavenly God powerhouses? When they heard Di Tian's name, they were so frightened that they did not dare to make a move. Di Tian was the one everyone was most afraid of. At the same time, he had the terrifying title of Professional Godslayer. That was the scariest thing. In the meantime, a few heavenly gods from the World Commerce Chamber's branches tried to use violence, but they were killed by Di Tian. Hence, everyone became obedient. The territory lords of the territories all remained silent. What Di Tian wanted to do was none of their business. After all, it did not touch their bottom line, so there was nothing to worry about. After all, they were robbing the World Commerce Chamber's branches. They were rich and might not even care. Why should they interfere and offend Di Tian? Di Tian was a straightforward person in every territory. When Di Tian left to wreak havoc in other territories, they might even have to applaud and drink to calm their nerve. The title of Professional Godslayer became true. The territory lords of the territories were not idle either. They arranged for people to gather information, and finally received news that third young Master Feng of the World Commerce Chamber had once targeted Di Tian. This time, Di Tian was here for revenge. In a short period of time, he had wiped out 7 or 8 World Commerce Chamber's branches, causing them to suffer heavy losses. When the news spread, there was an uproar. Di Tian was here to take his revenge. Vast Heaven's secret realm. It was an ancient secret realm. Later, it was occupied by a group of people. Over time, it became the breeding ground of various races. Later, it gained a resounding name: the World Commerce Chamber's headquarters. There were very few people who knew the location of the headquarters. Even if they found it, they might not be able to enter. It was rumored that outside the vast Heaven's secret realm, there were densely packed formations and restrictions. Most of them were super-killing formations. Even heavenly gods would not be able to return if they entered. Bastard, this bastard. He's taking revenge. hearing the latest news from his subordinate. A stern-looking middle-aged man in the hall couldn't help but curse. There were a few people standing in the hall, and all of them had their heads lowered. They didn't dare to provoke the president's anger, and they were cursing Di Tian more than 100 times in their hearts. Feng Wanquan frowned. As the vice president of the World Chamber of Commerce, he also had a headache. He had never imagined that such a small matter would lead to such an outcome. In a short period of time, the World Commerce Chamber had lost 8 branches, and the losses were uncountable. 5 heavenly gods and more than 10 sovereign realm experts were killed. Losing the goods was fine, but World Commerce's face had been slapped resoundingly. Right now, the entire weave was probably looking at World Commerce as a joke. Feng Wanquan wanted to slap his disappointing son to death. Father, that bastard Di Tian is clearly here for revenge. I suggest that we gather all the heavenly god experts in the nearest territory to stop Di Tian from acting recklessly. At the very least, we have to let him know how powerful our world commerce is. Feng Qian said viciously. This was Feng Wanquan's eldest son, and he was a fierce and aggressive fellow. I also agree with Big Brother. Di Tian is too arrogant. If we don't teach him a lesson, I'm afraid he won't stop, said another young man who looked similar to Feng Gan. He was the second young master of Feng Clan, Feng Gang. President, we need to arrange experts to stop Di Tian from sweeping through our branches. The World Commerce Chamber's elders will probably agree. Everyone present was Feng Wanquan's men, and they all agreed that it was best to send experts to deal with Di Tian. Feng Wanquan was very disappointed. These people only knew how to deal with Di Tian, but they didn't know how much effort they had to pay. Even the weapon refining sect that had monopolized the weapons had been destroyed. Dealing with Di Tian was easier said than done. This was also something that gave Feng Wanquan a headache. If Di Tian was really that easy to deal with, Feng Wanquan would have arranged for people to take action without his 2 sons' reminder. He wouldn't have waited until now. President, the head president wants to inform you to go to the conference hall for a meeting. Someone suddenly came in from outside and informed Feng Wanquan. Then, the person turned around and left. Feng Wanquan's expression instantly turned ugly. This matter had escalated to a major issue, and the head president had also called for a meeting. All right, stay here and wait for me to come back after the meeting. Feng Wanquan felt a headache just thinking about it. This meeting was definitely targeted at him. If he knew that his youngest son was unreliable, he wouldn't have arranged for him to go. The other 2 vice presidents definitely wouldn't miss this opportunity to target him. The World Commerce Chamber's influence suffered a huge blow. The Wind Cloud Commerce Chamber and the Hell Heaven Commerce Chamber also took the opportunity to expand their territories, seizing the original shares of the World Commerce Chamber. When Di Tian swept through these territories, the shares of the World Commerce Chamber were quickly devoured by these 2. By the time the other World Commerce Chambers reacted, their shares had already been devoured. All of them regretted coming late. This is awesome. The Battle Fortress left another territory. The Dragon Tribe felt great again. Now, every member of the Dragon Tribe was rich. In vulgar terms, they were all tycoons. Just the materials they had on them could be exchanged for a large number of holy stones. Lin Fei wasn't interested in anything else. He was only interested in godheads and divine stones. This pleasurable method made the members of the Dragon Tribe worship Di Tian even more. After all, the Dragon Tribe naturally liked shiny things. Holy stones were undoubtedly a good choice. 9 Dragons King was also very happy. The clansmen he led hadn't obtained anything good from start to end. They were one of the strongest clansmen, but they used scrap metal. They would be laughed at if they went out. Ever since they followed Di Tian, the clansmen's pockets bulged. They had changed their treasures too. They were invincible among their peers. Just like this time, they had swept through 8 World Commerce Chamber branches and obtained a large number of treasures. If it were someone else, they definitely wouldn't be so generous. It would be strange if they didn't take everything. But Tion was different. He didn't care about these things. In his words, he ate meat and his subordinates also had to drink hot soup. Just because of this simple sentence, the clansmen that came out all obtained a large number of treasures. Whether they used them in the future or kept them for themselves, they didn't have to worry about becoming poor. Nine Dragons King admired Tion even more. Unbeknownst to him, Lin Fei's harvest wasn't bad either. After sweeping through that branch, he had obtained a total of 300 godheads and extracted 83 heavenly god fragments. Just as Lin Fei planned to continue sweeping, the World Commerce Chamber branches in other territories were all empty. This trip was in vain. Lin Fei was very disappointed. He had lost another place to collect godheads. After going to several territories, all the World Commerce Chamber branches were the same. No one. All kinds of treasures were moved away accordingly. Chapter 1772. Under the vast starry sky. A gigantic black ship flew past them. It was so fast that it could not be detected with divine sense. It passed through one star after another, one world after another, and finally crossed a weave, heading towards the next weave. Taoist Sun Luo, thank you for sending us all the way to the draconic weave. The colossal black object was a war weapon, a battle fortress. The person who controlled the battle fortress was the Sun Luo overlord. Ordinary warships could not break through the limits of a large weave. Only a battle fortress could do it. It could travel as far as possible in the shortest amount of time. Any one of the 7 overlords was very popular. Many heavenly gods needed to travel to distant weaves, or even dangerous secret realms. Almost all of them would find an overlord to send them there. The price to pay for a single trip using a battle fortress was astonishing. Only a heavenly god could afford such a price. President Feng, you must be joking. We've been friends for many years. It's just going to the draconic weave. It's not a big deal. The Sun Luo overlord laughed. President Feng was naturally Feng Wanquan. After the World Commerce Association held a meeting, everyone was furious about Tion's revenge. They were determined to deal with Tion. Otherwise, the World Commerce Association would lose face. As the culprit, third young Master Feng was also targeted. His father, Feng Wanquan, was inevitably targeted. This time, Feng Wanquan did not know how to explain himself. Fortunately, his faction was quite powerful in the World Commerce Association, and they managed to fend off the other people's attacks. For this, Feng Wanquan had to pay a heavy price. At the end of the meeting, Feng Wanquan was arranged to go to the Draconic Weave to contact the current dragon god. He wanted the Draconic Weave's people to make a move and keep Tion in the Draconic Weave. At the very least, they had to severely injure him. It was not a secret that Tion had brought someone back to the Draconic Weave. It was very easy to investigate a large organization like the World Commerce Association. Connecting the dots, the upper echelons of the World Commerce Association knew what Tion wanted to do. He wanted to wreak havoc in the Draconic Weave. This made the World Commerce Association realize that this was an opportunity. The World Commerce Association had suffered heavy losses this time. Not only had they lost heavenly gods, but they had also lost a large number of treasures, including godheads. They had to take revenge. He needed to think carefully about how he was going to do it. Feng Wanquan was forced to take action. For this reason, he brought out a total of 20 heaven god experts from the World Commerce Hall. Among them, 2 were 5-star heaven gods, 5 were 4-star heaven gods, and the rest were 3-star heaven gods. Such a powerful force had been gathered to deal with Tion. Their main force was naturally the dragons of the Draconic God territory. Feng Wanquan and the Sun Luo overlord had been friends for many years. This time, he was representing the World Chamber of Commerce, so he had to pay what he had to. This was also a huge contribution. I heard that you fought with Tion before, Sun Luo. I wonder what your impression is? The Sunluo overlord already knew the purpose of this trip. The World Commerce Guild went to Dtion to vent their anger, but they weren't the main force. Dtion is evil to the core. The Sunluo Transcendent still couldn't forget what happened back then. He had truly suffered a huge setback. When Dtion became the 8th Transcendent, he had contributed a lot of effort, all for the sake of drawing more hatred towards Dtion. If we can avoid fighting directly, it's best not to do so. Naturally, this is my personal opinion. Feng Wanquan frowned as well. Even an old friend said that. This time, the dragon race was even more likely to make a move. I heard that the Draconic God territory is going to hold a new Dragon God convention to compete for the right of succession. All sorts of experts from the dragon race will be participating, and it seems that the strongest races will also be there to watch. I believe it will be very interesting, the Sunluo Transcendent said casually. A strange look flashed across Feng Wanquan's eyes. The Sunluo Transcendent also noticed the change in Feng Wanquan's expression. He thought, Dtion, don't think that you're so great just because you wiped out the crafting sect. If you dare to go after the dragon race, you'll definitely be badly injured. With your meager strength, you won't be able to suppress them at all. I'd like to see you make a fool of yourself. The World Chamber of Commerce branch was empty. Lin Fei gave up on sweeping and rushed to the Draconic God territory at full speed. In the following days, the battle fortress advanced at high speed. Lin Fei didn't really care about the energy points it consumed. Wool comes from the sheep's back, so he didn't have to worry about it. It took him a whole month's time. Lin Fei and the others were infinitely close to the Draconic God territory. Almost all the people who appeared here were dragons or dragonmen who were a mix of humans and dragons. It's been so many years. I didn't expect to come back one day. 9 Dragons King stood on a platform in the fortress, looking down at the world of stars below. He was filled with emotion. A familiar feeling rose in his heart. Home. It was still home. No matter how much time had passed, there was still a home in his heart. The Draconic God territory was his home. Lin Fei stood not far from 9 Dragons King. Are you afraid? 9 Dragons King laughed. Not at all. There are no dragons who are afraid of death. Even if it's a dragon's lair or a tiger's den, there's still a master. What a bootlicker! Before reaching the Draconic God territory, Lin Fei could see that the people living outside the territory were all very strong, especially the demonic beast. Your brothers should know that you're going back to the Draconic God territory. Lin Fei looked into the distance. I wonder what expression they'll have now. From the moment he released the dragons to sweep the World Chamber of Commerce branch, Lin Fei had no intention of hiding his whereabouts. It was necessary to keep a high profile. Lin Fei wanted to put some pressure on the people of the Draconic God territory so that the territory would fall into chaos. Many of them should feel guilty about what happened in the past. Whoosh! Suddenly, the distant sky turned bright red. The vast starry sky was dyed fiery red. Waves of scorching aura hit them in the face, as if they had fallen into an endless sea of fire. This seems to be the aura of the strongest phoenix race. 9 Dragons King looked at the sky, shocked. As expected, not long after, 1,000,000 zhang tall Huofeng flew across the sky. Everywhere it passed, the starry sky was scorching hot. From where they were, they could see many people standing on top of Huofeng. A moment later, the giant Huofeng disappeared, leaving behind a sea of fire. What a divine beast! Its power is actually so strong. Lin Fei's eyes narrowed. This was the first time Lin Fei had seen a divine beast. Moreover, it was a very powerful divine beast. A divine beast is nothing. Sooner or later, I will become a divine beast, and the strongest one at that. Hairball, who was lying on Lin Fei's shoulder, said with dissatisfaction. Eat it. Lin Fei comforted. Good, you are the strongest divine beast. When did the dragons get so close to the phoenixes? Lin Fei asked curiously. The closer they got to the Draconic God territory, the more people were heading there. Chapter 1773. The strongest races outside the Draconic God we've kept appearing. In less than half a day, 5 of the strongest races had appeared. Lin Fei could sense that something big was about to happen in the Draconic God weave. Otherwise, the strongest races would not have come to the Dragon Tribe. Could it be that they were targeting his group? Lin Fei thought it was impossible. He was very famous and fierce, and he was the newly promoted 8th Overlord. To the first and second-rate forces, he was indeed a force to be feared. In front of these strongest races, they would not give him any face. They would disdain him. No matter which race it was, the strongest of them would always be stronger than the crafting school's 5-star Empyrean gods. They could easily send out several 5-star Empyrean gods. That was the advantage of being the strongest race. Curious, Lin Fei sent people out to investigate. He was not in a hurry to enter the Draconic God weave. He might as well understand the situation first. He was not a reckless person. The Draconic God weave is holding the Dragon God Convention in 3 days? These strongest races are here to watch? Lin Fei was shocked when he heard the news. He turned to look at 9 Dragon King. What is the purpose of this Dragon God Convention? Why are the strongest races appearing one after another? 9 Dragon King had a complicated expression. He sighed. I didn't expect it to be the Dragon God Convention. Lin Fei noticed that 9 Dragon King was in low spirit. At this time, Long Xianming exclaimed, Father, is this the same as the Dragon God Convention back then? 9 Dragon King nodded bitterly. So many years have passed. I didn't expect to see the Dragon God Convention again. Is this to welcome us? Master, I've embarrassed myself. 9 Dragon King quickly recovered. This Dragon God Convention is actually to select the next Dragon God Weave Master. I was one of the candidates back then, but Lin Fei hadn't asked about the 9 Dragons King's past, but from the bits and pieces he had gathered, he knew that the 9 Dragons King seemed to have met his demise at the Dragon God Convention. In the end, he fled to the Dark Night Galaxy and drifted aimlessly. Every Dragon God Convention is the most sensational event in the entire Dragon God domain. As the strongest races, they would also come to spectate. Their geniuses would spar with each other, trying to get closer to each other. This is also the reason why the strongest races are independent of the 8 major sects and 7 hegemonic powers. 9 Dragons King added. Lin Fei understood. If what happened back then didn't happen, then you should be the one who initiated the Dragon God Convention this time, right? Lin Fei suddenly asked. Sigh, that's all in the past. The 9 Dragons King did not answer directly, but his meaning was clear. Master, this generation's Dragon God is holding a Dragon God Convention to select the strongest of the younger generation from the 9 Bloodlines Dragon Clan to become the Dragon God of the Dragon Clan. With the gathering of the strongest clans, the Dragon Clan's influence has reached its peak. In my opinion, let's forget about this matter. 9 Dragons King was worried. He understood the meaning of the Dragon God Convention better than anyone else. Having the strongest clans spectate was also a form of communication. When the time came, experts would gather. If Huang Xiaolong recklessly charged in, he would inevitably fall into a dangerous situation and might even die here. 9 Dragons King did not want Huang Xiaolong to stand up for him. Even if Huang Xiaolong wanted to go, he had to wait until the Dragon God Convention was over. When the strongest clans had all left the Dragon Clan, then he could make a move. Now was definitely not the time. Lin Fei shook his head. Don't worry, I understand what you mean. Since we're already here, don't you think it'll be boring if we don't do something? Coincidentally, the Dragon God Convention is about to be held, so we might as well make a big splash and let everyone know that my people are not to be bullied. Don't you think it'll be interesting? 9 Dragons King really did not know what to say. Lin Fei added, You've been away from the Dragon God domain for so long. Do you still have anyone you can trust in the Dragon God domain? We can't just barge in recklessly. We need to find someone to understand the general situation. Once decided, no one could change Lin Fei's mind. Nine Dragons King was even more grateful to Lin Fei. He clearly knew that the Dragon God domain was filled with experts, but Huang Xiaolong still stood up for him. How many people could do that? Master, since that's the case, then this old man will throw caution to the wind. Nine Dragons King's blood boiled. At worst, it would be a fierce battle. In the Dragon God domain, if there's anyone I can trust, it should be my sixth brother. I wonder how he is now. Then let's go find your sixth brother. The Dragon God domain was huge. It was even bigger than the previous domains. Its overall strength was also several times that of the other domains. All kinds of demonic beasts and ferocious beasts lived here, and every one of them was powerful. There were even mixed bloods of the dragon race and dragon men, making up the huge Dragon God domain. Lin Fei put away the battle fortress and moved alone in the Dragon God domain. With the help of space techniques, no one noticed him. Under Nine Dragons King's guidance, Huang Xiaolong headed in the direction of his sixth brother. Flying in the Dragon God domain, all kinds of ferocious beasts could be seen everywhere. They wore beast hide armor and carried large axes. It's changed. Everything has changed. At a certain location, Nine Dragons King suddenly let out a sigh. At Lin Fei's position, there was a vast plain and a large city with a large population. With a slight sense, he could sense countless powerful auras in the city. Those who could give Lin Fei such powerful auras were at least 4-star heavenly gods. Just now, he could sense at least a few dozen 4-star heavenly gods and above in the city. Among them, there were even a few that were very obscure and terrifying. You recognize this place? Master, you might not know this, but there are a total of 10 Dragon Kings in the Dragon God domain. Each Dragon King is given a fief, and each of them occupies a place in the Dragon God domain. This is where I, Nine Dragons King, was conferred my title. Nine Dragons King's expression was ugly. After I left, this place was probably conferred to another Dragon King. Lin Fei looked at the city below. This place will come back sooner or later. No one can take it away. Perhaps because he saw the fief, Nine Dragons King's expression did not look good, as if he had suffered a huge blow and could not accept it. Lin Fei could understand Nine Dragons King's feelings. No one would be able to accept such a scene. Under Nine Dragons King's guidance, Lin Fei soon arrived in the sky above a large city. This city was 3 times bigger than Nine Dragons King's fief, and it was bustling with people. A giant dragon statue stood in the square in the center of the city. He's still here, my sixth brother is still here. Nine Dragons King was also released, standing beside Lin Fei. Looking at the statue in the square, he was unusually excited. He was worried that after he left that year, his sixth brother, who had been the closest to him, would be affected. Looking at it now, at least, he was fine. Chapter 1774. Just like that, Lin Fei and Nine Dragons King walked through the city. This is my sixth brother's fief. Back then, he took good care of me. Among my 10 brothers, I have the best relationship with him. Perhaps because he had not been back for many years, Nine Dragons King had a lot to say. Lin Fei understood Nine Dragons King's feelings very well. Now that I see that the fief is still here, I feel at ease. At least, my sixth brother is not being persecuted. Otherwise, I will always feel guilty. Unknowingly, the two arrived at a wide street. There were many more beasts and dragons here compared to the few streets ahead. Boom, boom, boom. Just as the two arrived on the street, a fierce energy fluctuation came from afar. Everyone, hurry up and look. Young Master Long Xing is making a move again. It can't be, right? Young Master Long Xing just made a move not long ago. Who is it this time? What are you still standing there for? Hurry up and look, otherwise you will miss a good show again. Hee hee, who else can it be? The originally lively street was accompanied by chaotic noises as a large wave of people ran forward. The street was also empty. Lin Fei casually stopped a dragonoid. Seeing that he was stopped, the dragonoid became angry. Without waiting for him to speak, the dragonoid handed over a high-grade saint stone. "Friend, may I ask what happened in front? Why did everyone go to watch the show?" Perhaps because of the high-grade saint stone, the dragonoid smiled and said, "Sir, you look unfamiliar, it should be your first time here. I heard that the Dragon God Convention is about to be held, so I came to join in the fun." Lin Fei said. "All the more reason for you to go and take a look." The dragonoid laughed and said, "It should be young Master Long Xing making a move in front. If I'm not wrong, he should be targeting the shops of the Regent Dragon Clan. This kind of thing is not the first time." Hearing that the Regent Dragon Clan was from the Regent Dragon Clan, Lin Fei took out another high-grade saint stone, and the other party accepted it without hesitation. His luck today was pretty good. He could pick up a high-grade saint stone for free. "That's not right. You said that the Regent Dragon Clan should be the controller here. Why would someone cause trouble for them? Is there a mistake?" Lin Fei asked curiously. The Dragon Man shook his head. "You're not mistaken. What you're talking about is the past. Right now, the Regal Dragon Clan is merely struggling at death's door. When the Dragon God Convention ends, his right to be crowned Regal Dragon Clan will be revoked, and the Collateral Dragon Clan that young Master Long Xing belongs to will be replaced." "No way," Lin Fei was shocked. "Lin Fei, there is some inside." As he spoke, he handed over another high-grade saint stone. "I've asked the right person." Back then, something big happened in the Dragon God territory, and the Regent Dragon Clan here was implicated. Later on, during a mission, the 6th Dragon King of the Regent Dragon Clan was injured, and it was said that he was injured by a mysterious person. Since then, the 6th Dragon King's strength has not increased, and he has remained at the 2-star Heavenly God realm. As for young Master Long Xing's bloodline, because of a genius patriarch, he is already a 5-star Heavenly God realm at a young age. The clan's power expanded very quickly, and the 6th Dragon King's bloodline was constantly suppressed. Listening to the dragonoid's words, Lin Fei only knew that there was such an unforeseen event. Beside him, the 9 Dragon King also suppressed his anger and did not flare up. Previously, he was relieved for his 6th brother, but now he knew that it was not as simple as he thought. On the contrary, his 6th brother's life was not very good, and it would not be long before the land of the Regent Dragon Clan was taken away. Lin Fei gave him a few more high-grade saint stones and sent him away. "My poor 6th brother, this must have been done by him," the 9 Dragon Kings said in a low voice. "My 6th brother's talent is not bad. At the very least, it would not be difficult for him to cultivate to the 4-star Heavenly God realm. Now, he is stuck at the 2-star Heavenly God realm. Apart from him, who else could do such a thing?" A Regent Dragon King was only a 2-star Heavenly God realm. Even if he erupted, he would only be a 3-star Heavenly God realm. The difference between him and a 5-star Heavenly God realm was too great. It was normal for others to have their eyes on him. Suppressing him everywhere and challenging the 6th Dragon King's bottom line, this was forcing him into a corner. "Master, you must have a way. I beg you, help my 6th brother," the 9 Dragon Kings said in a panic. Lin Fei could guess that the person who sat on the Dragon God's throne was secretly suppressing him. Without the Dragon God's approval, how could a branch bloodline dare to act so recklessly? No one could say anything in the face of this kind of invisible suppression. The dragon race also valued the strong as the king. You, the 6th Dragon King, only have the strength of a 2-star Heavenly God. If word got out, it would be shameful. Now that a 5-star Heavenly God family head had appeared, with proper training, he would be worthy of the title of Dragon King. "I will help you with this matter." When Lin Fei first arrived, he was worried that the Draconic God domain would be united. Now, it seemed that they were not as united as he had imagined. This was his chance. "Let's go see your sixth brother." In the center of the city, there was a splendid immortal palace. Clouds and mist shrouded the sky, and immortal beasts danced in the air. There was a peaceful atmosphere everywhere. In the depths of the immortal palace, a group of youths ran toward the main hall. "That bastard Long Xing is getting more and more out of hand. I can't take it anymore. I want to go out and teach that guy a lesson. Our bloodline is not afraid of anything. Why would we be afraid of a bastard of a branch bloodline? Today, we must let that bastard know the power of the sixth Duke Palace." These youths were all burly and had murderous looks on their faces. At this moment, all of them had dark expressions and were furious. Just a moment ago, they had received news that a shop belonging to the sixth Duke Palace had been destroyed by that damned Long Xing. He had even injured many of their clansmen. They were all unusually impulsive. In the main hall, several middle-aged men were also frowning. They were also very angry. "Your Highness, we have to think of a way out of this. If this continues, our sixth Duke Palace will no longer have any status. If things go wrong, we might even be exterminated in the future. Your Highness, why don't we leave the draconic god domain? We don't want the imperial bloodline anymore. The dragon god is forcing us into a corner." These middle-aged men were the higher-ups of the sixth Duke Palace. This was not the first time they had said this. The situation was getting worse and worse. That bastard Long Xing had pushed them out to test their bloodline. The more it was like this, the angrier they became. In the past few years, the sixth Duke Palace had been suppressed everywhere. Some talented clansmen had unknowingly fallen outside. As a result, there was a shortage of successors. The experts of this bloodline were also very limited, so the clansmen did not dare to leave the city. Cough, cough, cough. Chapter 1775. They looked at the Dragon King on the main seat. The people below felt heartache. If not for what had happened back then, their bloodline would not have fallen to such a state. They were even bullied by the collateral relative. Everyone was filled with anger. But there was nothing they could do now. They could only grit their teeth and hold on. The sixth Marquis residence. The slightest movement could spell disaster. Because of this, the Dragon King's bloodline had a strong opinion of the Dragon God. As long as one wasn't a fool, they would know that it was the Dragon God's approval. Otherwise, how could a collateral relative dare to oppose the royal bloodline? Apart from that, the main point was that they lacked experts. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dared to act so arrogantly above their heads. "Everyone, stop arguing." A few simple words made the sixth Dragon King feel powerless. He was also very helpless about the current situation. So many years had passed, and the injuries from back then had not healed. He couldn't raise his cultivation level either. He had suffered a heavy blow and was very disheartened. "I will take care of this. Pass down the order. Without my permission, no one is allowed to leave the residence." The sixth Dragon King coughed lightly again. Everyone was very unwilling, but they knew that the Dragon King was doing it for their own good. If everyone left, someone might be schemed against. They didn't dare to act recklessly in the residence. Someone immediately set off to pass the message. In a back garden of the residence, the ninth Dragon King was supported by a beautiful woman. He sat under a pavilion, his face full of worry. "Husband, you don't have to worry too much. Our bloodline is the royal bloodline. The Dragon God won't dare to act recklessly." The beautiful woman comforted. The sixth Dragon King suddenly sneered. "So what if we are the royal bloodline? After so many years, of the 10 bloodlines, ninth brother has gone to the Dark Knight Galaxy, and the others have submitted to the Dragon God. I'm the only one who has been indifferent. Otherwise, he wouldn't have targeted our bloodline. I'm afraid that after the Dragon God Convention, our bloodline will completely lose its status." "Will it be that serious? That Dragon God, even if he sits on the throne, is still unjustifiable. Why did he arrange for 10th brother to hunt down 9th brother? In the end, it's because he hasn't obtained the dragon god's scepter. As long as 9th brother doesn't die, as long as he doesn't see the dragon god's scepter, his position will not be stable. The 6th Dragon King sneered. Back then, if it weren't for his cooperation, I wouldn't have gotten to this position so easily. I've always had a good relationship with 9th brother, so naturally, I became a thorn in his side. In order to solidify his position, he would do anything. How can that be good? The beautiful woman rarely interfered in this kind of matter, but at this moment she was also worried. The 6th Dragon King smiled bitterly. The Dragon God Convention is being held, and even the Dragon Kings are going to attend it personally. I'll be taking a portion of them with me when the time comes, and I've already made arrangements for the rest. When I leave, you'll leave the Draconic God weave with them and never return. At the very least, we can protect our bloodline this way. This was the only thing the 6th Dragon King could do. Who is it? Suddenly, the 6th Dragon King stood up. His seemingly powerless body erupted with a powerful killing intent that shot forward. 6th brother, it's me. In the distance, a ripple came from the void. 2 people walked out of the void. One of them took off his cloak, revealing his true appearance. Just like that, he stared at the 6th Dragon King. The 6th Dragon King revealed a look of disbelief. Your 9th brother. Why are you back? He had never imagined that his younger brother would return one day, much less at this time. Just now, he had thought that the Dragon God had arranged for someone to deal with him. That kind of person was capable of anything. This used to be my home. Why can't I come back? If I didn't come back, how would I know that 6th brother would be implicated because of me? As your younger brother, I've let you down. The 9th Dragon King said guiltily. Especially after seeing his 6th brother's appearance, his heart ached. In the Draconic Godweave, as long as one was a member of the royal bloodline and had a pure bloodline, their cultivation speed was faster than that of the branch families. The probability of producing geniuses was also higher. This was something that the branch families could not compare to. The 6th Dragon King's realm was stagnant, and the clan's geniuses were falling one after another. The 9th Dragon King felt even more sorry for his 6th brother. Hurry up and leave before they find you. Go as far as you can. Don't come back for the rest of your life. You can't win against the Dragon God. The 6th Dragon King had a good relationship with the 9th Dragon King in the past. Seeing his long-lost younger brother return, he was naturally happy. In the next moment, he asked the 9th Dragon King to leave. The 9th Dragon King's heart warmed. His 6th brother was still the same 6th brother. He had not changed at all. He was still so worried about him. 6th brother, since I'm already here, I don't plan to leave. That year, he took everything from me and even tried to kill me. This time, I'm going to take back what he took from me and avenge you, 6th brother. The 9 Dragons King's eyes were filled with determination. For his 6th brother, for himself, he had to throw caution to the wind. The 6th Dragon King knew his 9th brother's character very well. As long as he was determined, no one could change his mind. However, the 6th Dragon King did not want anything to happen to his 9th brother. He said coldly, "You're really stupid. Do you know what realm the Dragon God is at now? He's already an 8-star celestial god. It won't be long before he enters the 9 stars celestial god realm. How are you going to fight him?" It was not that the 6th Dragon King wanted to attack his 9th brother, but there was no need to take the risk. An 8-star celestial god isn't that amazing? Lin Fei suddenly interjected. The 6th Dragon King's realm was not high, but his dragon might was still there. With a glance, he could tell that the 6th Dragon King was a 2-star celestial god. 9th brother, is this your man? Such big words. The 9 Dragon King's voice was low. 6th brother, you're wrong. He's not my man. He's my master. Without him, You wouldn't be able to see me now. The sixth Dragon King's eyes widened. Ninth brother, you're muddle-headed. We're royalty. Why should we follow someone else? The sixth Dragon King's gaze turned to the ninth Dragon King. I don't care how you do it. I want you to release your oath and return my ninth brother his freedom. I will compensate you with treasures. Lin Fei was not angry. Instead, he was happy for the ninth Dragon King. Having such an elder brother was actually quite a good thing. Sixth brother, this has nothing to do with master. I'm doing this voluntarily. The ninth Dragon King was worried that something might happen. He stood between the two. Do you think someone can force me to do something I don't want to do? The beautiful woman also stepped forward. Husband, don't be angry. Let's hear what he has to say first. The sixth Dragon King suppressed his anger, seemingly accepting the ninth Dragon King's word. The dragon race was a proud race. Someone who could make his little brother willingly become a follower could not have used violence. Sixth brother, you probably don't know who my master is, right? You should have heard of him. He's the newly risen 8th Overlord, Di Tian. Chapter 1776. Di Tian? The 6th Dragon King had to know this name. He was a monstrous genius who had risen in such a short time. Those who didn't know this name would be laughed at by others. Were the 10 princes famous? However, they had been easily suppressed by Di Tian. Later, they became the 10 Empyrean gods and their strength soared. However, they were suppressed by Di Tian again and even killed a few Empyrean gods, making them famous. After that, Di Tian's rise was unstoppable. He was unbelievably strong. Several of the 8 great sects suffered losses, and the 7 overlords also suffered. Di Tian turned from a savage to a god-slaying expert, feared by everyone. The 6th Dragon King had naturally heard of such a savage Empyrean god. However, after seeing it with his own eyes, he still could not believe it. Di Tian was too young. When he was his age, he was not even half as strong as Di Tian. You are that Di Tian? A god-slaying expert? The beautiful woman was shocked. Lin Fei smiled. If there is no one else with the same name as me, then I am the Di Tian you speak of. Unbelievable, truly unbelievable, the beautiful woman exclaimed. After all, Di Tian was famous now. Taoist Di Tian, I'm sorry. I did not mean to target you just now. The 6th Dragon King rarely admitted his mistake. He did not dare to underestimate Di Tian just because he was the 8th Overlord. Lin Fei waved his hand. It's fine. It's normal for you to be worried about your brother. It had to be said. When one had status, it was much easier to speak. At least the 6th Dragon King did not have much of an opinion now, but he was still very worried about his 9th brother's safety. Di Tian was strong and his combat strength was not weak. However, that was in other places. In the Dragon God domain, he did not seem to be of much use. Unless Di Tian's backer intervened, there might still be a fight. In order not to be discovered, the 6th Dragon King brought the two into a secret room to prevent others from seeing them and spreading the news. I still don't recommend doing this. The 6th Dragon King coughed dryly. You do not know how powerful the Dragon God is. Almost all the strongest races are here in the Dragon God Convention. Among them, the Giant race and the Phoenix race are closely related to the Dragon God. If we act now, they might be tempted. As for the 9 Dragons King, it was hard to say. The only thing he trusted was Di Tian. If Di Tian said it would definitely succeed, then it would definitely succeed. It would not fail. 6th Dragon King, I can see that the injury in your body is nothing more than a force that can't be removed. I wonder if you can let me remove it for you? Then you should understand. Lin Fei did not want to explain too much. You can see the power in my body? The 6th Dragon King was shocked. It's just a mere force. Lin Fei scanned them with the system and found the root cause. As long as he got rid of that power, he could naturally heal the 6 Dragon Kings. The power in the sixth Dragon King's body was left behind by a mysterious person in the past. Until now, there was still a part of it that could not be removed. It was constantly devouring the power in his body, causing his strength to be unable to increase. He was barely a 2-star heavenly god. Otherwise, he would be a 4 or 5-star heavenly god at the very least. Can I really? For the sake of this power, the sixth Dragon King had secretly sought out many experts, but he had never been able to remove it. As time passed, it became a sore point for him. How would you know if you don't try? In any case, there's no loss for you. The 9 Dragon King said. Sixth brother, Master is still very powerful. He wouldn't lie to you. Then I'll listen to you. The sixth Dragon King also wanted to see for himself how tyrannical Dtion's abilities were. If Dtion's abilities were not up to par, the sixth Dragon King would never have allowed him to make a move during the Dragon God Convention. After all, the Dragon God Dominion was home to the strongest races. A 4-star heavenly god from the dragon race could already rival a 5-star heavenly god. One could well imagine the battle prowess of the strongest races. Lin Fei had the sixth Dragon King sit down, not letting the beautiful woman leave. Go. Lin Fei sent a time technique into the sixth Dragon King's body, enveloping the power and sealing it. Break. A finger blasted at the power. Lin Fei was very direct and violent. The sixth Dragon King was more or less disappointed. He had tried this method several times, but not once had he succeeded. The power was very tenacious, and it was not something that could be destroyed by force. Even if there was a part left, it would recover after a long time. This was also the main reason why the sixth Dragon King was helpless. After the power of the finger blasted into his body, the sixth Dragon King was disappointed. He used his divine sense to observe, only to see that the seemingly powerless power suddenly turned into a ferocious tiger that pounced on the power. Boom! Boom! The suppressed power tried to escape in all directions, but it could not escape. In an instant, it was shattered by the power, leaving nothing behind. Ah, it's done. The sixth Dragon King's eyes widened in disbelief. He kept checking with his divine sense, and the terrifying power that had been bothering him for a long time was shattered mercilessly. I said it was a small matter. Don't you want to see it? Lin Fei smiled. The power was very tenacious, which was why Lin Fei had used a technique to seal it and then used force to shatter it, not giving it a chance to leave. It was a small matter to Lin Fei, but in the eyes of the sixth Dragon King, it was definitely not a small matter. It was a huge matter. I'm convinced. I'm completely convinced. The sixth Dragon King was finally convinced. Those who were exiled could never leave, unless the Dragon God granted them amnesty. Ever since the last banishment, very few people were exiled from the banished land, and those who were exiled were super experts. Being exiled to the banished land was worse than being killed. There was not a shred of heaven and earth spiritual energy in the banished land. Anyone who stayed there would experience a steady decline in their strength as time passed, and they would eventually die of old age in the banished land. Even a wealthy person would die of old age in the banished land. As for breaking through to the next realm, there was no need to even mention it. We're almost there. They definitely won't expect us to go to the banished land at this time. This time, Lin Fei was the main person in charge of the trip to the banished land, while the 9th and 6th Dragon Kings led the way. Both of them were very excited. Fellow Taoist Dtion, the banished land is very terrifying. None of those exiled have ever returned. Are you confident? The 6th Dragon King asked worriedly. Although I haven't seen the banished land yet, in my opinion, as long as it exists, it has its flaws. Lin Fei was not in a hurry. If there are people guarding it, that's even better. We can just let them out. If there are restrictions, we can break them layer by layer. Lin Fei's thinking was very simple. The banished land was full of experts. As long as they didn't die, they could use the godstones to recover. Returning to their previous realm was not a difficult matter. Other than that, another thing that made Lin Fei happy was that the experts exiled from the banished land had died generation after generation in the banished land, leaving behind a large number of godheads. No one knew exactly how many there were. This was also Lin Fei's biggest goal. Who asked him to lack godheads? Chapter 1780. P.S. There was a mistake at the end, it was Nine Dragon King is back. He had gotten used to it. He collapsed. After losing the Inferno Heavenly God, the remaining people were in a panic. Everyone knew that the Nine Dragon King was back, holding the Dragon God's scepter that only the Dragon God was qualified to possess. They had witnessed the terrifying power of the Dragon race's #1 divine weapon. The Inferno Heavenly God, a 4-star Heavenly God in his true form, couldn't withstand a single blow from the Dragon God's scepter and was killed on the spot. What else could the remaining people do? The people present weren't stupid. This meant that the Nine Dragon King was back for revenge. In less than a moment, the people from the exiled Heavenly Palace ran away. No one wanted to die in the hands of the Nine Dragon King. If they didn't leave now, when would they? They wouldn't care about what would happen next. Their priority was to save their lives. What a tyrannical divine weapon! Lin Fei was also surprised. He had occasionally heard about the Dragon God Scepter. It was the #1 divine weapon of the dragon race, and also the #1 killing weapon. Now, it seemed that this was true. Its power was terrifying. Master, his divine weapon is not bad, in terms of grade. It can reach the level of a mid-grade God King weapon. Only the strongest race can withstand the backlash. This Nine Dragon King is not simple. If we don't kill these people and let them spread the news, in less than a day, the entire Dragon God territory will know about this. Little Demonis ran out and said. Lin Fei was a little surprised. The strongest race of the dragon race was really not simple. A mid-grade God King weapon, they are really rich, their foundation is extraordinary. If I'm not wrong, the other strongest races might have 1 or 2 God King weapons in their hands, then the 8 major sects will also have the same. I have to go and collect more divine sparks. No matter what, I have to get a high-grade Heavenly God divine weapon. Lin Fei thought to himself, then asked Little Demonis, if I get a top-grade Heavenly God divine weapon, will it be able to fight against an ordinary mid-grade God King weapon? After Lin Fei saw the Dragon God Scepter, he was even more afraid of the strongest races. To put it bluntly, the two of them aren't too far apart. The quality of his God King artifact is only mediocre. To put it bluntly, it's just something that he forged casually. There's no difference between a high-tier Celestial God artifact and a middle-tier God King artifact. Lin Fei heaved a sigh of relief. I want to prepare a divine artifact for God King Ron. Otherwise, I will really suffer a great loss. Your divine item is not bad. My eyes have been opened. Lin Fei put away the battle fort and smiled at Nine Dragon King. As expected of the #1 divine item of the dragons, Nine Dragon King was very proud. Many thanks for Master's praise. Although this thing is good, it will become an ordinary item in Master's hands sooner or later. In the future, I hope Master can also forge a suitable weapon for me. Nine Dragon King was proud, but he did not think that his Dragon God scepter was very awesome. These words left the 6 Dragon Kings at a loss. The Dragon God scepter was the #1 divine artifact, wasn't it good? Could it be that there was an even better divine artifact? No problem. Lin Fei readily agreed. The Raging Fire God is dead, and the remaining people are no longer a concern. It's time to release them. It won't be long before the nearby experts come to reinforce us. Speaking of which, he had grasped the opportunity well this time. With the raging fire god guarding this place, coupled with the formation, even a 5 or 6-star heavenly god might not be able to open it. Everyone knew the prestige of the dragon race, and no one was willing to offend the dragon race. Naturally, no one would come to the banished land. In addition, the banished land had been safe and sound all this time. The banished land's spirit array had not been fully activated. It was only the simple activation of the spirit array's spirit array that allowed Lin Fei to easily kill his way in. These 8 Dragon God Mountains are the core of the banished land's formation. As long as the 8 Dragon God Mountains are broken, the banished land will lose its seal and the people inside can come out. The other way is to go in and bring them out. 9 Dragons, King said. The first method won't be easy. The 8 Dragon God Mountains were obtained by the first-generation Dragon God in a dangerous location. As for what materials they were made of, no one knows. Later on, they were used to create the 8 Dragon God Mountains and create a land of exile for experts. Lin Fei did not take these 8 Dragon God Mountains seriously at first. Now that he heard it, it was not right. It seemed to have a lot of background. Could it be some kind of treasure? With the Dragon God's scepter in your hand, you can't blast open the Dragon God Mountains? Lin Fei asked. It's difficult. 9 Dragon King shook his head. Rise for me. Lin Fei decided to give it a try. First, light beams filled the sky, and the densely packed attacks made one's scalp go numb. The Dragon God Mountains did not move at all, and there was no damage at all. Lin Fei activated his fusion, and 18 heavenly gods fused together. His strength soared to the 6-star heavenly god realm, and he turned into a giant. He grabbed the Dragon God Mountains with both hands, but he still could not move them. This time, Lin Fei was convinced. Have you scanned it yet? What the hell is this? Even I can't move it. Lin Fei dispersed his clones. He was very shocked. There was such a treasure in the world that even he could not move the Dragon God Mountains in the slightest. Yes, there's a result. This Dragon God Mountains is refined from a kind of top-grade material called magnetic million-weight stone. With your current strength, you can't hold it at all. I admire this first-generation Dragon God. He collected this kind of top-grade material and refined 8 Dragon God Mountains. It's really a big deal. Master, your luck is really good. This was the first time he heard this name. Is it useful to me? Lin Fei's eyes lit up. It's more than useful. For Master, this is a super good thing. The little demon said disdainfully. As long as Master can move the 8 Dragon God Mountains, and use a large amount of divinity points to use the system's refining system, it can help you refine a super-killing weapon. Oh my god, super-killing weapon, what kind of quality is it? Lin Fei was shocked. He almost suspected that he had heard wrongly. If the 8 Dragon God Mountains could be used to create a super-killing weapon, the people of the dragon race would have already refined it. If it was someone else who said it, he would not believe it even if he was beaten to death. He believed the little demon's words without a doubt. It's easy for you to kill a divine king. You can think about it yourself. You should level up immediately. When you become a 9-star Empyrean deity, all of your Empyrean deity avatars will also reach the 9-star Empyrean deity realm. Then, you should be able to grab these 8 Dragon God Mountains. Lin Fei was dumbfounded. Can't Ron do it? The little demon said, No. Well, it seems that I still have to rely on myself. Lin Fei had never thought that he would find a treasure here, not to mention a super-powerful killing machine. It would be very useful to him. The little demon was created by the system, and even he was full of praise for it, so it must be very good. Boom, boom, boom. Everything outside the exiled heavenly palace was shattered. There were 8 Dragon God Mountains. The land of exile was always sealed by a layer of sealing power. The people inside could not come out. The 9 Dragon King holding the Dragon God's scepter was equivalent to opening a back door of the land of exile. As long as one entered, they could open a space-time door through the first divine tool and come out. If he was alone, he would definitely not be able to support it. With Lin Fei's help, he could do it. Chapter 1781. The Dragon God territory was huge. When the land of exile was invaded, the eldest son of the Dragon God, Long Ikuan, was the first to know. He was currently on his way to the land of exile. Father is right. My ninth uncle is really plotting against those people. Is he trying to use those old monsters to make a comeback? Long Ikuan sneered. He didn't really care. Look at the situation. The Dragon God scepter has appeared. If I can bring it back, I will definitely be the successor. The people around him didn't dare to disturb the first prince. Advance at full speed. Follow my orders. Gather all the experts of the Black Dragon Legion and surround the land of exile. They won't be able to escape. The Black Dragon Legion was the main force under Long Ikuan's control. As the eldest son of the Dragon God, he had the support of the Dragon King. He controlled a terrifying force. Otherwise, how could he compete with his brothers? Long Ikuan realized that this was an opportunity for him. As long as he killed Ninth Uncle and the traitors and brought the Dragon God scepter back, the other four brothers wouldn't be able to compete with him for the position of successor. He could rely on this great contribution to settle the matter. The Black Dragon Legion arrived quickly. They immediately sealed off the area. Countless black dragons formed a killing formation that surrounded the 8 Dragon God Mountains. Your first prince, the formation is complete. Someone reported. Long Ikuan stood on the Dragon God Mountain and nodded in satisfaction. Once they come out, no matter who they are, kill them without mercy. This killing formation was one of the super killing formations. It was bought from the auction house of the World Chamber of Commerce. Just activating this killing formation required 100,000 black dragons, all of whom were rulers and above. The order was passed down immediately. Long Meng, Long Bai, follow me in. Long Ikuan wasn't satisfied with setting up the killing formation outside. He called his 2 trusted experts to enter the land of exile and kill them immediately. Understood. Long Meng and Long Bai were brothers who cultivated a combination attack technique. Their battle prowess was extremely terrifying. They were originally peak 5-star heavenly gods, and when they used this combination attack formation, their battle prowess was just barely at the level of a 7-star heavenly god. This was also why Long Ikuan dared to enter personally. This place really is a sealed land. In the Banished Land, the entire world was a barren wasteland. There were almost no signs of green life. Even the most common green leaves were nowhere to be seen. Other than the barren yellow sand, there were also barren mountains and bare, towering mountains. Lin Fei had already put away the battle fort and was flying in the sky. Between the sky and the earth, a sealing power was applied to his body, cutting off all connections. The 2 halves of the corpse fell from the sky, and blood dyed the yellow sand red. Whoosh! The heavenly god battle technique in Lin Fei's hand couldn't withstand the power and broke into pieces. He died just like that. The 6 Dragon Kings knew that Tian was very powerful. After witnessing the battle with his own eyes, he was completely shocked. This was too terrifying. The Sand Race powerhouse was good at hiding himself, and ordinary people wouldn't be able to find out where he was. Tian actually killed him with a single slash. Impressive, impressive. What a sneaky guy. Killing him is as easy as flipping my hand. Lin Fei moved the 2 halves of the corpse into the battle fort, where Hairball would be in charge of eating them. There were 56 godhoods in the storage ring. Lin Fei's eyes lit up. This was a harvest. I have a use for the godhoods. You guys can split them. Lin Fei threw the storage ring to them and took the godhoods for himself. He used them to level up, and he was 1 step closer to leveling up. The 6 Dragon Kings were shocked again. They didn't expect Tian to be so generous, willing to share the rest of the items with them. The sixth Dragon King had his own pride. Normally, he wouldn't care about such things, but these were all in the past. After being constantly suppressed, his bloodline's cultivation resources were limited. Naturally, he was tempted when he saw the godhoods, but he was too embarrassed to take them. The 9 Dragon King accepted them without hesitation. Sixth brother, he's a tycoon. He might not be interested in other things, but the godhoods are the only thing he's interested in. It's a waste not to take these things. With the 9 Dragon King's words, the 6th Dragon King also thought that his bloodline still had some godhood. Should he trade them with Tian? Chapter 1782. Deep within the land of exile. Several divine senses emerged from the barren yellow sand, communicating with each other. That aura was so strong. Even though it's only the aura of a 6-star heavenly god, it's terrifying. Did another expert come? It doesn't matter if he's an expert or not. My people have already gone to deal with him. In this godforsaken place where even birds don't shit, we can't absorb immortal chi. We have to rely on god stones to survive. Only a fool like him would go all out as soon as he entered. Ha ha ha, I knew you would send someone over. I've actually sent someone over as well. I wonder how lucky everyone is this time. Why don't we make a bet and see who wins? Let's bet. I'll bet 5 million inferior grade immortal stones on my man winning. These divine senses were the 8 strongest experts in the land of exile. They almost never fought. It didn't matter if they were dragons from the draconic divine domain or foreign powerhouses. Once they arrived in the land of exile, they would either be killed or choose to join the sect of that powerhouse. Every time a powerful expert appeared, these big shots would come out to watch the show. This was the only thing they could do to amuse themselves. The appearance of a 6-star heavenly god was a very powerful existence in the land of exile. The 8 big shots were naturally very interested. Experts like that would never lack immortal stones. This was what they needed the most. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Countless powerful auras flew over from all 4 directions. Wow, there are 40 experts here. Judging by their auras, they're all 4-star heavenly gods or 5-star heavenly gods. Lin Fei opened the system and narrowed his eyes. He was overjoyed. They were here to give him God's cores. Just now, a Sand Tribe expert had given him a lot of God's cores, and now there were 40 more. They really thought highly of him. The 6th and 9th Dragon Kings also sensed the powerful auras flying over. Not all of them were from the Dragon Tribe. Some were human experts and some were from other races. In less than a moment, the experts with powerful auras appeared in their field of vision. Their violent auras stirred up a cloud of yellow sand. It was clear that none of the newcomers were easy to deal with. They were all famous experts. The big fat meat is coming. Everyone, go. To the east, a fat man who looked like a corporeal body narrowed his eyes as he summoned a blood-colored tree, which shot out hundreds of beams of sword chi toward Lin Fei's group of 3. Fatty, she's ours. Don't you dare. In another direction, a tall and skinny middle-aged man coldly laughed and waved his hand, summoning a massive black net. The black net grew larger and larger until it was like an inescapable net above the 3 of them, trapping everything within it. The 40 experts attacked ferociously the moment they arrived, regardless of who it was. He had a system with him that stored trillions of divine power unit. He could squander it as much as he wanted without worrying about not being able to keep up with the attack. Lin Fei, who didn't use the heavenly god saber, used the simplest attacks, and with the support of the time technique, he moved back and forth. Block! We can't stop him. Too fast. Not good, another one died. At this time, Lin Fei was like a ghost. Using the time technique and the space technique, the 2 strongest technique attacks, Lin Fei took the lives of heavenly god powerhouses one after another. No one could block his attacks. Every time, Lin Fei's attack was exactly twice as big as theirs, perfectly crushing them. It also became easier for Lin Fei to kill them. At first, they wanted to exhaust Lin Fei's divine power, and when there was no time to replenish it, they would attack with all their strength. Lin Fei kept attacking fiercely. His combat strength was fierce, and no one could block his attacks. Besieging? Their attacks were halfway there, but he had already dodged them. This way of dodging left them dumbfounded. Lin Fei was like a ferocious tiger, killing more than 30 heavenly god powerhouses, and they were like sheep. The powerhouses died under his saber one after another, and the ground was covered with corpses, godheads, storage rings. Run. Too powerful. In the blink of an eye, there were only 3 heavenly gods left. They were the last ones. They were scared out of their wits. No one present could block 3 slashes, and they were basically killed in 2 slashes. Whether they were 4-star heavenly gods or 5-star heavenly gods, only 6-star heavenly gods could last until the 3rd slash. You guys can stay too. Lin Fei slashed again, and his divine power surged. The long and narrow saber light swept across their bodies, and the remaining 3 became corpses, falling on the yellow sand. Chapter 1783. Fast. In one word, fast. The strands of divine sense in the banished lands were struck dumb. 40 heavenly god powerhouses were all killed by someone. Such a force could cause a shocking commotion outside, but they were killed just like that. The bloody corpses on the yellow sand became the best proof. 8 big shots walked out from the depths of the banished lands, each with a different expression. Obviously, they did not expect the person in their eyes to be so powerful. A sweep is a sweep. Young man, your strength is not bad, to be able to discover our tracks. An expressionless old man said. You killed 40 heavenly gods, don't tell me you still want to attack us? Although you're a human, this old man doesn't mind. As long as you join my sect, I can give you a very high position. Another old man said. Heavenly gods' deaths were nothing to them. As long as they could recruit a subordinate, they would be a powerful general. Most of the spatial rings left behind by the 40 experts would fall into their pocket. You're the Grand Elder, I'm Little Nine. Ah. 9 Dragons King stared at one of the old men, clearly excited. The old man wasn't standing far away. Only when he heard the voice did he notice the 9th Dragon King and the 6th Dragon King. He was stunned, not daring to believe his eyes. Little Nine, is that really you? The old man appeared in front of 9 Dragons King, asking excitedly. Grand Elder, I'm Little Nine, I'm back. 9 Dragons King nodded. The old man's face darkened. Little Nine, what's wrong with you? Why are you back, and even in the banished lands? Don't you know this is the sealed land? What, that's Little Nine? Impossible, he's here in the sealed land. Among the 8 experts, 3 paled, appearing beside 9 Dragons King, sizing him up. Yes, that's right, it's Little Nine and Little 6, they haven't changed at all. Grand Elder, 3rd Elder, 5th Elder, 7th Elder. 9 Dragons King recognized them one by one, and 6 Dragon Kings followed suit. In terms of status, everyone present was higher than the 2 of them. Back in the day, they were both members of the Elder Group and had an extremely high authority. Later on, they were schemed against by the new Dragon God and banished to the sealed land. In the sky, the other experts frowned. You're the 9 Dragons King from back then. Since you're here, you must have the Dragon God scepter on you. Quickly hand it over. One of the experts shouted excitedly. The eyes of the others lit up. They had also heard about the Dragon God scepter. The Dragon God scepter was the #1 divine artifact of the Dragon Clan, and also a super-killing weapon. It was rumored that with the Dragon God scepter, one could leave the sealed land. Emotion, what nonsense are you talking about? Little Nine was sent to the sealed land. Do you think there's still a Dragon God scepter? Grand Elder Long Aushur roared. Demonic Sea Celestial was tall and sturdy, his body overflowing with demonic chi. He was a heavenly god powerhouse of the devil race, so he didn't buy it at all. Everyone, don't believe the old thing's words. Whether or not we have it isn't up to him to decide. We have to search your body first. You four, we have more than four. Let's see who's afraid of who in the end. Either you search me or hand over the dragon god's scepter. With the dragon god's scepter, we can leave this damned place. The other three came from different clans. They usually lived in harmony with each other, but now that the dragon god's scepter had appeared, they couldn't help but make a move. No one was willing to stay in this place. The experts under Emohation's command flew out and appeared behind them. The other three experts did the same. In just a short while, close to 1,000 heavenly gods appeared behind the four of them. Each of them was filled with a ferocious aura. On Long Aoshua's side, the number of people he gathered wasn't that many, barely over 100 heavenly deities. This was also due to their arrogant temperaments, disdaining to recruit experts. At most, they would recruit experts from the Dragon Clan. After a long time, many died, and only 100 or so experts from the Dragon Clan remained. In terms of momentum, Long Aoshua's side was much weaker. Old thing, your Dragon Clan is very strong, but we aren't weak either. Who doesn't want to leave the sealed land? Now, either hand over the Dragon God's scepter or let us search you. You only have two choices. Emohation shouted. Everyone, don't you think so? Yes, we want to leave. I don't care if you are from the Dragon Clan or not, if you don't hand over the Dragon God's scepter, we will kill you. Hand over the Dragon God's scepter. Long Aoshua knew Emohation very well. He was a selfish, cold, and cruel person. He would never give up on something that he had set his eyes on. His strength had reached the 7-star heavenly god realm, and he was the strongest powerhouse in the sealed land. Even Long Aoshua was slightly inferior to him. Nine Dragon King also realized that he had said the wrong thing and was being used. The Dragon God's scepter was on him, so he naturally wouldn't let them search him, let alone hand it over. Master, is there a way? Nine Dragon King subconsciously looked at Tion. The four elders' faces turned ugly, especially Long Aoshua, who had high hopes for Nine Dragon King. He almost suspected that he had heard wrong, and his sharp eyes shot towards the human brat. When this matter is settled, this old man wants you to explain yourself. A mere 6-star heavenly god, Long Aoshua didn't care at all. This matter needed an explanation. Since when did their Dragon Clan recognize a human as their master? Wasn't this a complete mess? Great Elder, you've misunderstood. It's not what you think. Nine Dragon King hurriedly explained, afraid that Tion would be angered and cause an even bigger misunderstanding. This was not what he wanted to see. Explanation? Lin Fei laughed. Since you're an old man, I won't say anything. If it were someone else, I'd slap you to death. Whether you're from the Dragon Clan or not, you don't have the qualifications for me to explain. Nine Dragon King broke out in a cold sweat. This is bad. Long Aoshua was an arrogant person in the past, or else he wouldn't have been schemed against by the Dragon God. Now, not only was he called an old man by a junior, he even wanted to slap him to death. The other three elders' faces also turned ugly, and they looked at Nine Dragon King with reproachful eyes. This young man's temper is really big. It's been a long time since I've had someone like this talk to me. Long Aoshua suppressed the anger in his heart. This was not a good time to take action. The most important thing now was to deal with Emohation's group. I hope that after this matter is over, you still have the strength to say such words. The proud Dragon Clan is not to be blasphemed. Lin Fei didn't even look at Great Elder. Instead, he looked at Emohation in the distance. Great Elder, you should be glad that you didn't make a move, because you'll soon see what it means to not judge a book by its cover. Emohation couldn't wait for an internal strife to occur. What's your decision? I'll give you 10 breaths of time. Once the time is up, we'll personally take action. Emohation gave his final notice. Suddenly Lin Fei laughed, No need to count, because you're all going to die soon. Boom! A tyrannical aura soared into the sky. Chapter 1784. One can wear out iron shoes in fruitless searching, only to find it by chance. Somewhere in the void of the land of exile, Long Ikuan revealed a cold smile, as if everything was under his control. Congratulations, Your Highness! You have made a great contribution. Long Meng and Long Bai congratulated Long Ikuan. Long Ikuan had chased all the way here and easily found the Nine-Dragon King. He had also witnessed the battle, and even saw the legendary Di Tian make a move. The strength of a 6-star heavenly god was only a small surprise. This cultivation technique of his, I want it. Long Ikuan was very envious. If he had this cultivation technique, he would not even frown when facing a 9-star heavenly god. Using it on Di Tian was a waste. This kind of person should not have this kind of cultivation technique. Not only did Long Ikuan want Di Tian's clone cultivation technique, but he also wanted to cut off the 9-Dragon King's head and the number 1 divine artifact of the Dragon God Scepter. Long Ikuan was very pleased with the congratulations of his trusted subordinate. This trip was really a great harvest. When he returned with this great contribution, even his brothers would have to lower their heads before him. Long Ikuan was very clear that his imperial father cared the most about finding the Dragon God Scepter. As time passed, it would become a sore point. Your Highness, Mo Haitian is a powerhouse of the demon race, and the others are not weak either. The weakest among them is a 6-star heavenly god. We don't need to make a move, and they will be in a mess. Long Meng analyzed. We just need to wait for them to make a move. No matter who wins, no one can escape from our hands. Long Ikuan laughed. A bunch of blind fools. It's good that they fight. When the time comes, you guys can make a move. I will ask Imperial Father for your contribution. Boom. A terrifying aura rose. Everyone in the banished lands fell into a state of panic. What a terrifying aura! How can this aura be so strong? I can't even move before this aura. Could it be a 9-star heavenly god? All the powerhouses in the land of exile felt insecure. They did not know what terrifying thing they had encountered to attract such a terrifying aura. Mo Haitian was also suppressed by the aura. He vomited several mouthfuls of blood. He was still fine, but the other heavenly gods were all pale. 9 stars celestial god. Mo Haitian's expression changed as he stared ahead. This terrifying aura was something that only a 9 stars celestial deity could possess. There's no time to lose. Everyone, let's move. Mo Haitian was indeed an expert of the devil race. He knew that an expert had come to the old thing's side. No matter what realm the expert was at, he was at least a strong enemy. Before he made a move, he would strike first to gain the initiative. Mo Haitian was the first to make a move. Demonic flames surged into the sky as he took out a white bone mountain that blew with chilling winds. This was a mid-grade divine artifact, and it could change its size at will. It could devour flesh and blood, and its might was terrifying as it smashed towards everyone. The other 3 didn't stand on ceremony either. They also knew that this was their only chance, so they all took out their treasures: a blood-colored river, a golden chariot, and the illusory image of a deity. With the 4 of them taking the lead, there was no need to even mention the 1,000 heavenly gods behind them. The sky was filled with attacks from treasures. It was clear how terrifying this attack was. Old thing, even if you're a 9 stars celestial, don't even think about gaining any advantage in this sealed land. Mo Haitian activated the White Bone Mountain, and the power of the medium-grade divine artifact surged. So many people were attacking. Mo Haitian indeed had the qualifications to say such words. Long Aoshue and the rest were also in a state of shock. They couldn't recover from the shock. Before this aura they also felt the impact. Although it wasn't a direct hit, their blood was still boiling. This isn't the aura of a 9 stars celestial, it's the aura of a god king. Long Aoshue's memory seemed to have returned to a long time ago. His body trembled slightly and his eyes widened. He finally realized that this aura wasn't the aura of a 9-star celestial, but the aura of a god king. He had seen this kind of aura on the dragon god before. It was also this terrifying aura, and the two were exactly the same. Junior brother, these people really think they're something. I'll help you deal with them. Everyone's hearts trembled again, especially the 9 Dragons King, who was overjoyed. I knew Tion was strong, but I didn't expect his senior brother to be so strong. The moment he came out, he's already a 9-star celestial. No, wait, his aura. The burly man arrived in front of everyone, and casually sent a palm strike towards the black mass of treasures. Pring, pring, pring. With this palm strike, the sky full of treasures exploded one after another. Those with weaker divine weapons were practically scrap. Haitian's white bone mountain was deformed, and its size shrank by a large margin. The blood river was scattered, and the illusory figure of a god was destroyed. With a single palm strike, all the threats disappeared. Haitian coughed out another mouthful of blood, and his scalp went numb. He knew that this person wasn't a 9-star celestial. Only a god king could casually break through their attack. Go! At this time, Haitian could only run as far as he could. Wasn't he just robbing some treasures? Was there a need to use a god king to deal with him? Wasn't this a scam? The others were in a similar situation, and they didn't care about their subordinates anymore. Their priority was to stay alive. Still want to run? With a cold snort, Ron threw out a light ball made of god force. The light ball exploded as it landed in the midst of the heavenly god. Regardless of the cultivation level of the heavenly gods, they were blasted into pieces by the explosion. It could be said that this was their doomsday. 2 light balls shot out, and more than 1,000 heavenly gods were annihilated. Not a single one survived. The 3rd light ball shot towards Haitian's group of 3, raising the entire area to the ground. 4 peak heavenly gods were also blasted into pieces, and even their godheads were damaged. They're all dead. Long Aoshua's body trembled uncontrollably. He heard the burly man's words loud and clear. It turned out that the burly man really had the qualifications to speak. With a god king backing him up, he indeed had the qualifications to say such words. Luckily, I didn't make a move. Long Aoshua felt a lingering fear. If I really made a move, I might end up like them, right? The 9 Dragon Kings and 6 Dragon Kings, as well as the Dragon Clan's experts behind them, none of them could remain calm. All of them were scared witless. The visual impact was too shocking. Just a moment ago they were about to fight to the death, but in the end they were killed so easily. Junior brother, there seems to be someone spying on us, and their killing intent towards you is very strong. Should we kill them as well? There are 2 6 stars heavenly gods and 1 5 stars heavenly god. Master said that anyone with killing intent towards you should be killed. Ron's gaze swept across Long Aoshua and the others. Your Highness, let's go. In the distant void, Long Meng and Long Bai's scalps went numb. The 2 of them were very strong when they joined forces, but in the blink of an eye, the burly man had killed more than 1,000 heavenly gods. How could they possibly be a match for him? Long Ikuan had seen all kinds of experts, and his father was one of them. However, at this moment, even he felt fear. He hurriedly took out a spatial gate and left the sealed land. I can't die here. I must leave this place alive. Boom! A light ball made of god force descended from the sky, exploding in the void where they were. Long Ikuan and his 2 trusted subordinates were instantly blasted into pieces. Even their godheads were in tatters. Chapter 1785. P.S. There is no update for today. Dao friend Tion, is he your senior brother? Long Aoshua and the others felt their mouths go dry. Their eyes were wide open. They were truly frightened by the scene in front of them. A god king. Did he have to be so savage? Was he going to let them have a good time? Their scalps turned numb as they stared at Tion with boundless fear. I'm rich. With such a senior brother holding down the fort, who would dare to find trouble with you? Long Aushua was glad that his temper had become better, or else he would have been killed on the spot. Right, that voice seemed to belong to the eldest son of the dragon god. Could it be that he was also killed? This was too cruel. Like junior brother, like senior brother. My senior brother is also worried about my safety. Everyone isn't scared, right? Lin Fei snickered in his heart. Everyone could not help but observe a moment of silence for those people. What hidden family clan? How could they have a senior brother who was a god-king expert protecting them? Even they did not know about it. Could it be that they had fallen behind the times for too long? Junior brother, I've collected these storage rings and divine cores for you. Deal with them yourself. Don't disturb me if there's nothing important. Ron pretended to be a senior brother, waved his hand, and collected all the scattered divine sparks, left a sentence, and disappeared. As soon as he disappeared, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Facing a god-king expert, the pressure was immense. Even breathing was difficult. Fellow Daoist D. Tian, I didn't intentionally target you just now. Please don't take it to heart. Long Aushua explained, afraid that D. Tian would bear a grudge against him. Not lowering your head? He wasn't looking for something to do. Although the dragon race was arrogant, they were not fools. If they really thought that they were something, they would not know what was going on with a single slap. Lin Fei gloated in his heart. Strength was still the most reliable. Even the proud dragon race had to bow their heads. It's fine. I'm young, and I've seen this kind of thing many times. Lin Fei chuckled. On the other hand, these people died, and some of them were from the dragon clan. You guys shouldn't have any objections, right? Everyone shook their heads. No objections, of course there were no objections. Who could guarantee that there were no fence-sitters in the dragon clan? It's our first time meeting, so I don't have anything to give you. These weapons and holy stone, just treat them as my meeting gift. As for these divine deity, I have other uses for them, so I won't be giving them to you all. Lin Fei waved his hand, and hundreds of storage rings flew out and floated in front of them. Long Aushua had seen many demon-level geniuses before, but he had never seen someone as monstrous as D. Tian. Not only did he have the help of a God King Realm senior apprentice brother, he was also extremely generous, giving out over 100 interspatial rings as a greeting gift. This young man truly wasn't simple. Fellow Daoist, you need godhood? It just so happens that I don't have much use for it. Why don't you take it? Long Aushua was also a sly old fox. The dragon clan wasn't stingy when it came to other people's goodwill. We're useless too. There's no point in keeping it. Since the Grand Elder had taken the initiative to take out his godhood, the other dragon clan experts behind him also took out their godhood. A moment later, Lin Fei had 3,500 godhoods in his hands. F***CK, do you have to do this? With 3,500 godhoods in one go, Lin Fei was overjoyed. He didn't expect the dragon clan to have so many godhoods. No matter what, this should be enough to raise his cultivation by 2 or 3 levels. Other than that, there should be at least 30 to 40,000 godhoods in the interspatial rings left behind by the thousands of heavenly god. Brother, aren't you going to level up noisily this time? Since they were being so courteous, Lin Fei felt even better. This was clearly the dragon clan's way of expressing goodwill. Right, I still have some invincible weapons here. Although they aren't mid-grade divine artifacts, their power isn't inferior to mid-grade divine artifact. I believe everyone will like them. Lin Fei had a large number of backup low-grade divine artifacts in his system storage. He took out 120 low-grade invincible divine artifacts in one go. Long Aushua didn't care at first. How could low-grade divine artifacts be any better? But when they heard that they were comparable to mid-grade divine artifacts, the other dragons present were shocked beyond belief. So amazing? 9 Dragons King also explained on behalf of the Grand Elder, proving the power of invincible divine artifacts. After obtaining the low-grade divine artifacts, The dragon clan members went crazy. Good stuff. Every dragon was filled with admiration for Tion. With low-grade invincible divine artifacts, their combat strength would increase by a large margin. This was something they didn't dare to imagine before. In the eyes of Long Aoshue and the others, Tion had become a tycoon with a powerful background. He didn't lack money. Long Aoshue knew that he was right to give away the godhoods. Although he didn't know what use Tion had for them, he valued them greatly. In Long Aoshue's hands, they weren't very useful. Fellow Taoist Tion, if you need more godhoods, I know of a large number of godhoods in the depths of the sealed land. It's just that they're sealed away. Perhaps, fellow Taoist Tion has a way to take them out. Long Aoshue said. Elder Long, I like what you said. Divine deity is of great use to me. As long as there are enough divine deity, I will give you a high-grade invincible divine tool when the time comes. Chapter 1786. Dragon City. The Dragon God Convention was about to begin. There was a rare peaceful atmosphere in Dragon City. The usually arrogant young masters and various young talents all chose to keep a low profile. Their families also ordered that they were not allowed to wander outside. Who knew who they might accidentally offend? The Dragon God Convention was unprecedentedly influential. Not only did the big shots of the strongest races come, but the big shots of the 8 major sects and the 7 overlords also came one after another. All kinds of geniuses gathered, and none of them were easy to offend. These young masters all kept a low profile. There was also a rare peace in Dragon City. The peaceful scene disappeared with a roar of anger. Everyone in Dragon City was shocked. Everyone looked at the Dragon God residence. What was going on? Boom! A powerful aura surged out of the Divine Dragon residence, and a figure flickering with golden light flashed by, disappearing into the sky above the Divine Dragon residence. Lord Dragon God! That's Lord Dragon God! The Dragon God's eyes widened. This anger actually came from Lord Dragon God. No one could imagine what could make this Dragon God angry. The big shots of the strongest races, who were on good terms with the Dragon God, all came to the Dragon God residence at almost the same time, each full of doubts. The 8 major sects and the 7 overlords also sent people to inquire. It was definitely not a trivial matter that made the Dragon God angry, so they had to take it seriously. As soon as the big shots of the strongest races came in, they felt the angry aura from the Dragon God. This anger contained a terrifying killing intent, and only they could withstand this killing intent. There was almost no one in the main hall. Even if there were, they were all shivering, filled with fear as they forcefully endured it. Brother Dragon, what happened? The first to enter was a tall and sturdy man. He was at least 9 zhang tall, and his body was wrapped in a beast skin armor. On his back was a huge black warhammer. With every step he took, the ground seemed to tremble. That bastard is causing trouble. Do you want me, old ox, to help you deal with him? Old bull, when can you change your temper of fighting and killing? After all, you represent the strongest race. Another middle-aged man came in from outside. He was thin and had a mustache. His small eyes flickered, making it impossible to see through his depth. He was called Old Bull, and he was the leader of the barbarian bull tribe, one of the strongest tribes. He was born with boundless strength, and after becoming a heavenly god, his strength was astonishing. I, Old Bull, don't fight and kill. Could it be that I'm like you, sitting here all day and scheming against people? Barbarian Bull sneered. I'm not as good at scheming as you Fox clan, we are good at fighting and killing. The mustached middle-aged man's background was not small either. He was from the strongest race, the Heavenly Fox race. Although they were the strongest race, they were only sent later. The Heavenly Fox race's combat power was not strong, but they were good at scheming. They were known as the #1 scheming race. In the territory, the Sky Foxes had always been treated as distinguished guests. They were the best at scheming. Once they made a move, it would be a piece of cake for them to turn the situation around. Many of the major events in the territory had been orchestrated by the Heavenly Fox clan. Even though the Heavenly Fox clan's strongest Empyrean god, Heavenly Fox Z, was only barely an 8-star Empyrean god and wasn't the strongest, no one was willing to offend them. Barbarian Bull, Heavenly Fox, can the two of you speak less? Behind them, another person dressed like a scholar came in. He was cultured and elegant. The most eye-catching thing about him was the pair of golden wings on his back. This was the biggest symbol of the Heavenly Wings race. Fellow Taoist Long, what exactly happened? Behind him, another 3 big shots came in. They were all the big shots of the strongest races. They were also the closest to each other, and they were allies. This was also why the 8 great sects did not dare to underestimate them. Actually, it's nothing much. It's just that my eldest son was just killed. Long Liefan said expressionlessly. I sent a clone to deal with it. Fellow Taoist Long, my condolences. My condolences. The big shots were shocked. The Dragon God's eldest son had actually been killed in the Dragon God territory. Wasn't this a slap to the Dragon God's face? Who was so bold? Could it be someone from the 8 great sects? They all knew that the Dragon God's favorite was his eldest son, Long Ikuan. He was decisive in killing and had also received an inheritance. He was the future successor of the Dragon God. They did not expect him to be killed at this time. They could not help but sigh. Originally, they were prepared to make a move. The other party had sent a clone over, and no one could withstand the Dragon God's thunderous fury. They also wanted to know who exactly it was that made the move. Wasn't this person a little too daring? He did not take the Dragon God seriously at all. In the land of exile, after being wiped out by Ron, all the Heavenly God powerhouses on the stage were annihilated. Those who were lucky enough to survive were all terrified. When they heard that the other party liked divine sparks, they did not hesitate to personally send the divine sparks to prevent them from being destroyed. Over 1,000 heavenly gods were killed. It was a shocking sight. No one could ignore it. If the other party wanted to kill them, a finger was enough. Master, the statistics are out. We obtained a total of 1,213 storage rings and found a total of 117,553 divine sparks. Chapter 1787. Ding. Congratulations player on summoning a 3-star celestial god. Ding. Congratulations player on summoning a 5-star celestial god. Ding. Congratulations player on summoning a 5-star celestial god. All 50,000 celestial god shards were used to summon the celestial god. Fortunately, the summoned celestial god was placed in the system space. If it appeared beside him, the people around him would probably be scared to death. Awesome! 9-star celestial god. Not bad, 8-star celestial god. 7-star celestial god is not bad. Every time he summoned a powerful celestial god, Lin Fei's eyes would light up. These were all his capital. Even if the summoned 9-star celestial god had the same combat power as usual, as long as he had a good invincible artifact, he would be able to crush them. On the other hand, the great elder Long Aoshue, who had always been at the front, had been inquiring about Di Tian's situation from Little Nine. When he heard about the speed of Di Tian's rise, he was even more certain that Di Tian was a monstrous genius from some great hidden family. Master, your luck is not bad. A total of 5 9-star celestial gods, 18 8-star celestial gods, 37-star celestial gods, and the rest are all 1-star to 6-star celestial gods. This luck is not bad? No matter what, I need at least 59-star celestial gods. My master, the probability of summoning is not high to begin with. If your luck is bad, you might not even be able to get a 9-star celestial god powerhouse out of 100,000 celestial god fragments. You should be content. The little devil rolled his eyes. Lin Fei laughed at himself. His appetite was too big. If that was really the case, his luck would be heaven-defying. The remaining 50,000 godheads, I'll use 10,000 godheads to draw the experience chest. Godheads were very useful. Lin Fei did not intend to use them all at once. The page changed immediately. A huge experience chest appeared. Lin Fei had not drawn for some time. The experience chest prompted that he could draw 50 times today. Each time, it would cost 100 godheads. After 50 times, it would cost 500 godheads each time. This was really black-hearted. The mode was no different from summoning. Ding! Obtained godhead. The experience chest opened and inside was a godhood. Lin Fei was dumbfounded. He looked at the little devil and said, "You can do this? Godheads are also treasures. All right, let's continue." Lin Fei was speechless. 100 godhoods for one godhood, this was a loss. Ding! Obtained Inferno Divine Weapon, Inferno Saber. Ding! Obtained 10 godheads. 50 times passed. Lin Fei had obtained 20 low-grade divine artifacts and 5 mid-grade divine artifacts. Last time, he had not obtained a single divine artifact. Continue. Lin Fei really wanted to take out a high-grade divine artifact. There was no shortage of divine sparks. 500 godhoods once, 10 times would be 5,000, and 100 times would be 50,000 godhoods. The experience chest opened again. All kinds of things emerged one after another. Lin Fei was not interested in any of them. He was not interested in low-grade divine artifacts, but he was interested in middle-grade divine artifacts. 10 attempts failed. 20 times, no. 30 times, no. When he got to about 50 times, including the previous 50 times, he had used up 30,000 godhoods. He only had about 20,000 godhoods on hand. There were a lot of things, but he did not get a high-grade divine artifact. Ding! Obtained high-grade divine artifact, Spear of the Sea God. In the system space, there was one more spear. There's finally one. After obtaining the high-grade divine artifact, Spear of the Sea God, 450 times, Lin Fei finally heaved a sigh of relief. With a high-grade divine artifact, he did not need to draw any more for the time being. Lin Fei did not plan to use this high-grade divine artifact. He planned to give it to one of the 5 9-stars celestial gods to use, and he would use a mid-grade divine artifact for the time being. A high-grade divine artifact was not easy to obtain, but a mid-grade divine artifact was not. Lin Fei quickly changed into a set of celestial god equipment. His clothes were earth battle armor. As long as he stepped on the ground, his defense would increase by 5 times. His weapon was also changed to a thunder saber, which could release lightning attacks with divine power. It was rather domineering. In a short period of time, his realm had increased, and his combat power had soared. None of the people around him noticed. They only felt that the imperial capital's aura had become heavier. "We're here." Long Aoshua quickly brought Di Tian to the depths of the sealed grounds. Rumble! Rumble! Lin Fei looked in the direction where the sound came from. In the distance there was an eerie land. It was no longer a stretch of yellow sand. The scariest thing was that the sky above the eerie land was filled with lightning, forming a forbidden land. Is this the place? Lin Fei vaguely felt that there was a great terror within. Yes, we call this the sealed forbidden land. Do you see that lightning? Rumor has it that it was left behind by a Thunder King. After his death, the great Tao turned into lightning, and it is abnormally terrifying. There are also gusts of black chilly wind, world-destroying chilly wind that specializes in destroying the physical body. Our dragon race's divine body is very strong, and if we barge in, the world-destroying chilly wind will destroy our divine body. Long Aoshua's face was filled with fear, and he added in the end, "Usually, we never enter." Lin Fei tried to use his divine sense to check it out. As soon as his divine sense entered the sealed forbidden land, A bolt of lightning struck it, instantly shattering it. Chapter 1788. The golden-armored divine dragon's clone was expressionless, but everyone could feel his cold, killing intent. Long Aoshue and the others had suspected that Di Tian had killed someone, but now it seemed that it was true. Di Tian had actually killed the eldest son of the divine dragon. Even if he hadn't done it directly, it had to have something to do with him. No wonder the divine dragon's clone had come personally. Seeing the clone, Long Aoshue was shocked. His clone is already so powerful. I'm afraid his main body has stepped into the God King realm. Long Aoshue wasn't surprised by this result. With the dragon race's vast resources, it wasn't difficult to increase one's strength. He had also reached the God King realm earlier than expected, so it was normal for his clone to reach the Nine Stars realm. In the Endless Territories, any expert with an extremely high level of cultivation would have an ocean's worth of cultivation resources at their disposal, to say nothing of those from the most powerful races. Every powerhouse of the Endless Territories would be able to cultivate a clone when they reached the pinnacle of their cultivation. With so many resources, it was very normal for them to reach the 8 or 9 star level. In fact, some of the more powerful Empyrean gods could even cultivate 2 or 3 clones. In the past, Long Aoshue had also cultivated a clone, but it was later killed by the dragon god, Long Liefan. You must be Di Tian. Just like the rumors, you talk big and have heaven-defying combat power. The divine dragon's clone said, however, you can't kill my eldest son. The one who killed him is someone else. If I'm not wrong, this person is in your battle fortress. Lin Fei was shocked. This divine dragon was not simple. The divine dragon is indeed the divine dragon. Although it's just a clone, your eyesight is amazing. I'm very impressed. Lin Fei smiled. Then I might as well say it. The one who killed him wasn't me. Since he chased me all the way to the sealed land, he must want to kill me. Those who want to kill me must pay the price, don't you think? It's good that you admit it, the divine dragon's clone said. Then let me see how outstanding you, the 8th overlord, are. The golden-armored divine dragon punched at Di Tian. As the punch came, a wave of time power swept towards everyone. Long Aoshue and the rest of the dragon race couldn't move at all. Their faces were filled with shock. The divine dragon's clone was much stronger than they had imagined. Brother D, be careful. The divine dragon's clone controls the grand Tao of time. One punch, a divine power attack in addition to a time attack. This kind of attack was extremely powerful, and not many could easily block it. Long Aoshue couldn't help but worry. Lin Fei did not take the attack head-on. He suddenly disappeared and reappeared far away, causing the dragon god clone's attack to miss, blasting a huge crater in the sealed area. You're just a doppelganger. You don't have the qualifications to make me fight you. You'd better fight with me. Fight me? You don't have the right. Lin Fei also began to put on airs. Xiao 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 xiao. 5 9-star heavenly gods appeared out of nowhere and charged toward the dragon god's clone. One of them wielded the sea god's spear, and with a sweep of the spear, a towering wave surged toward the dragon god's clone. The remaining 4 9-star heavenly gods also took out their medial quality god artifacts and unleashed their divine might toward the dragon god's clone. This attack made the divine dragon's clone feel even more pressure. His expression turned ugly, and he took out a golden shield to block in front of him. Pierced by the spear of the sea god, the sturdy shield was covered in cracks and then shattered into pieces. The spear stabbed into the divine dragon's clone's chest armor, and the clone was also smashed into the yellow sand. F***CK. How many trump cards does Di Tian have? 5 9-stars gods in one move. If it's not a medial quality divine weapon, then it's a high quality divine weapon. The divine dragon's clone is in for it. The divine dragon's clone was sent flying by the spear. Once Long Aoshue and the rest regained their freedom, they hurriedly flew behind Tion. It was better to stay away from this kind of battle. The battle between the divine dragon's clone was too terrifying. They were even more fearful of Tion's mysterious trump cards. First, it was a god king. Now it was 5 9-stars gods. Today, the divine dragon's clone was in for it. Lin Fei watched unhurriedly. He did not plan to make a move at all. With his subordinates, why should he make a move himself and waste his divinity points? This thing was not easy to earn. The divine dragon's clone was sent flying by the spear, and the armor on his body was also damaged. The moment he flew out, the other 4 9-stars gods arrived, each wielding a medial-quality divine weapon. The combat power that each of them erupted with was not weaker than the divine dragon's clone. They could block this attack, but they couldn't block the attack of the other. One of them was a 9-stars god wielding a high-quality divine weapon. "You're shameless." The divine dragon's clone was sent flying into the yellow sand. "Master, you're really awesome." 9 Dragon King's hatred for the divine dragon was unimaginable to outsiders. Now, he felt very satisfied. The mighty divine dragon, even if it was just a clone, was being beaten up in front of his master. What could be more exciting than this in the world? 6 Dragon Kings worship. Well beaten. That bastard divine dragon has such a day. It's best if you cripple one of his clones. Let's see how he can still be arrogant then. All these years, 6 Dragon Kings had been suppressed. The fire in their hearts was similar to 9 Dragon Kings. Nothing was better than watching the divine dragon being beaten up. "I'm going to die." Lin Fei was very satisfied with the encirclement of the 5 9-stars heavenly gods. "My main body will come and kill you personally." The divine dragon's clone was in an extremely sorry state. The sea god's spear pierced through his head, leaving a huge hole. "I'll be waiting." In less than 50 rounds, the divine dragon's clone was killed. The divine dragon's clone didn't leave anything behind. The divine weapons and armor on his body were all seriously damaged and didn't have any power. He didn't even have a storage ring. Don't worry, everyone. When you enter my battle fortress, the divine dragon will have to consider whether or not to attack when he comes. Lin Fei wasn't afraid of the divine dragon's attack now. Not everyone could bear the burden of a sealed danger zone. Long Aoshue and the others admired Tion. The divine dragon's clone was killed just like that. Even the proud dragon race had to admit defeat. Moreover, they admired powerhouses the most. Tion was undoubtedly a powerhouse. No one had any objections. After putting them into the battle fortress, Lin Fei plunged into the sealed danger zone. Rumbling lightning quickly found its target and blasted Lin Fei's body. Damn, so numb. Lightning blasted on his body. Lin Fei's 5-star heavenly god body felt numb, as if it would collapse at any moment. Boom boom boom. More than 10 lightning blasted on his body. Lin Fei felt the pressure. This lightning was very terrifying. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The black apocalyptic wind slashed at Lin Fei's body like knives. White marks were left on his tough body, and they became more and more obvious. No wonder the heavenly gods couldn't withstand it. This is only the outer part, not to mention the depth. The power of the lightning and the apocalyptic wind will increase by more than 10 times. Lin Fei rushed inside, activating his battle armor to the limit. Anyway, he still had some mid-grade divine armors. He wasn't afraid of not having armor to wear. Godhead. Chapter 1789. Divine Dragon Mansion. Long Liefan was still entertaining the big shots. Suddenly, Long Liefen's expression changed. Just now, he had lost contact with one of the clones he had refined. No matter how he tried to activate it, he was unable to contact it. "I lost contact with my clone. Could it be that old 9 used the dragon god scepter?" The clone and the main body could sense each other. But because the sealed area was not normal, the main body lost contact with the clone. Long Liefan did not care. Who would have thought that in such a short time, he would really lose contact with the clone? Brother Long, what happened? Sky Fox Z saw that something was wrong. Sky Fox Clan was the best at reading people's expressions. Barbarian Bull said casually, Old Fox, what nonsense are you talking about? What nonsense are you talking about? Aren't we fine? What could possibly happen to us? I can't explain to a barbarian like you. Sky Fox Z hated it when people called him Old Fox. Barbarian Bull was angry. Who are you calling barbarian? Tell me clearly and I will kill you. Come on. Sky Fox Z did not want to be outdone. I'm afraid you don't have the ability. Tian Yitzi frowned. Do you too have to be like this? Long Liefin frowned. Old Bull, Old Fox, give me face and stop arguing. If this gets out, people will laugh at us. Barbarian Bull snorted. Brother Long, I will give you face. Sky Fox Z also gave him face. Old Fox, I lost contact with my clone. I'm afraid I can't entertain you. Long Liefin said, I will personally go and check. You lost contact with your clone? That's impossible. Sky Fox Z said in shock. Your clone has the battle prowess of a 9-star celestial god. He also has a medium-grade battle armor and a medium-grade divine equipment. Ordinary people are not his match. Could it be a mistake? Tian Yitzi also said. They all knew that Long Liefin's clone had powerful battle prowess. It was even stronger than a 9-star celestial god. Now that they lost contact, it was hard to believe. Most importantly, they did not feel any battle aura fluctuation. They still had this bit of sensing ability. It can't be. Long Liefin said, I can only entertain everyone again. Now I have to go to the sealed area. Brother Long, the sealed area is very famous. I wonder if you can take this old bull to have a look. Barbarian Bull said, I really want to have a look at that place. Heavenly Fox rolled his eyes. Brother Dragon, you have lost contact with your doppelganger, and it is in the sealed land. Something might happen inside. Why don't I go with you? This is the sealed area, it is indeed strange. Long Liefin still brought the three of them to the sealed area. He had lost contact with one of his doppelgangers, and he had this kind of combat strength. Long Liefin had to be concerned. If they came, they might be able to help. The sealed area was not some secret place. It was empty and there was nothing there. Long Liefin did not mind bringing people in. The heaven and earth spiritual chi is completely sealed, and our bodies are also sealed. Brother Long, this place of yours is really good. No matter how strong you are, you won't be able to endure the corrosion of time here. Tian Yitzi felt that this was very interesting. Long Liefin replied with a few words. He sensed his location and flew towards a certain location. Not long after, he appeared on a patch of yellow sand. This is the first battlefield. Sky Fox scanned the area a few times. Something's not right. There's an expert here who swept everyone away in one go. Moreover, it's a heavenly god expert. Barbarian Bull didn't agree. How do you know? Heavenly Fox said with a smile. Ask Brother Long. He has mastered the time technique. You can play it back to see if I'm right. When Long Liefin arrived at the sealed grounds, he could feel a terrifying aura coming from this place. Especially at his current position, the aura was faintly discernible. I'd like to see what kind of expert the sealed land can produce. Long Liefin used the time technique to look back at the scene here. He could sense the aura left behind by his eldest son, and only he could sense it. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The scenes replayed one by one. First, on a deserted desert, celestial deity powerhouses appeared one after another. The 9th Dragon King, the 6th Dragon King, and the others appeared one after another. Then, a young man went on a killing spree, killing dozens of heavenly gods. This person should be Tian. Sky Fox narrowed his eyes. It's rumored that he has a miraculous technique and has 18 doppelgangers. As expected, he lives up to his reputation. This kind of combat strength is not inferior to the geniuses of our strongest races. Barbarian Bull said disdainfully. His main body is so weak, only at the one-star celestial deity realm. If it were me, killing his main body would be useless, no matter what moves he has. After dozens of heavenly gods died, the scene of them recognizing each other appeared in the blink of an eye. Then, the scene of Emohation fighting against Tion was cut off before the fight began. Long Liafon's body trembled slightly. How is this possible? The following scene can't be replayed. Sky Fox said in shock. Long Liefan was also quite surprised. My doppelgangers are most likely related to Tion's group. My time technique encountered an especially powerful force, which is why it can't be replayed. Brother Long, it's good that there's an expert. Old Bull's hands have been itching recently. When we run into one, let me do it. Barbarian Bull patted his chest. See if I don't kill him. Long Liefan was the clearest about the sealed land. To be able to stop the time replaying, one had to at least have the strength of a peak 9 stars heavenly god. Logically, there shouldn't be such an expert in the sealed land. This made Long Liefan puzzled no matter how much he thought about it. It must be that Tion. Rumor has it that this person's origin is mysterious. In such a short time, he became the 8. Maybe Old 9 hooked up with Tion and came to the sealed land to bring people back. Long Liefan put down the scene and continued to search. So, my doppelganger died. Outside the sealed land, Long Liefan finally knew why he couldn't contact his doppelganger. It was killed, which made Long Liefan furious. Brother Long, seems like that 9th brother of yours brought many experts back. For example, there were 5 9 stars heavenly gods here. Sky Fox said with a smile. The scene's aura dispersed quickly, but there was still some left. Everyone sensed it at the first moment. 5 9 stars heavenly gods, they came at the right time. Maybe they entered the sealed land. Barbarian Bull didn't care. Long Liefan searched the sealed land and didn't find Old 9's group. Time replaying was also useless. As long as there was a tyrannical expert, the replay would be interrupted. They won't go in. Long Liefan said, this is the sealed land. Thunder, world-destroying wind, they contain great terror. You guys can't even stand it if you go in. My 9th brother also doesn't have the ability to go in. So powerful? Barbarian Bull really didn't believe it. He went in head first, attracting thunder and world-destroying wind. After a while, he came out in a mess. This thunder and world-destroying wind are really terrifying. Old Bull's defense is very strong, but he still can't block the endless thunder attack. It's fine for a short time, but after a long time, no one can stand it. Sky Fox and Tian Yitzi looked at each other. The dragon race's sealed land was indeed terrifying. Chapter 1790. Lin Fei didn't know that this generation's dragon god had been to the sealed land. Even if he knew that the dragon god had come, he wasn't worried. If he had the ability, he could enter the sealed land and enjoy the pleasure brought by the destructive wind and lightning. This feels great. The sealed land was more terrifying than he had imagined. Every time he advanced 1,000 feet, the destructive wind and lightning would increase in power. Apart from that, the destructive wind and lightning weren't all. Meteor rain, ice power, and other great chaos also appeared one after another. Lin Fei wasted more than a dozen low-grade divine armors. The harvest was also more abundant than expected. He could find godhoods from time to time. That's the 532th1. Lin Fei withstood the lightning and other great chaos attacks and put away the dozen godhoods. The smile on his face became brighter. If I keep it like this, it will be too slow. All kinds of great chaos attacks are endless. Even the low-grade divine armors can't handle it. Lin Fei changed into another divine armor. Lightning and ice fell one after another. Lin Fei was engulfed by the ferocious attacks. Anyone who saw it would feel their scalp tingle. No wonder even the 9 stars celestial deities died here. The attacks in this place were too terrifying. Master, the great chaos here are getting more and more terrifying. Your divine armor can't stop them. I suggest that Master activate invincible defense. That way you can collect godhoods faster. Little Devil reminded. Lin Fei sighed. That's the only way. They hadn't reached the depths of the sealed land yet. At most, they were in the periphery. The lightning and other great Daos attacks that filled the sky were enough to show how terrifying the depths were. Invincible defense was activated instantly. Lin Fei gave up on the scattered godhoods in the periphery. There weren't many of them. It was better to go directly to the depth. Maybe there would be more godhoods there. Boom boom boom. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. As they went deeper, Lin Fei felt more and more shocked. The skeletons were either sitting or standing. They were densely packed together, causing Lin Fei's scalp to go numb. Just how many people had participated in the great battle here? At the same time, abandoned divine artifacts, after a long time, became rotten and scattered everywhere. All kinds of great Daos became unusually violent. Lin Fei activated the invincible defense, and the invincible value was constantly being consumed. Little Devil, can you find the location of the divinity? Lin Fei asked the Little Devil. In such a big place, I can't always look for them one by one. Moreover, once I release my divine sense, it will be shattered, and it will be even harder to find them. 500 godhood, I'll help you find it. The Little Devil agreed readily. Lin Fei wanted to vomit blood. Wasn't it just searching for divine deity, asking for 500 divine deity in one go? Wasn't that too black-hearted? In the end, Lin Fei still reluctantly paid 500 divine deity to the Little Devil. He was also curious as to what the Little Devil wanted divine deity for. This thing should not be of any use to him. Searching for godhood, soon the system's voice sounded. My lord, about 3,000 meters east of you, there's godhood. There are about 310 of them. Lin Fei was still grieving over the loss of the divine spark, but he was about to reap the rewards? Damn it, it was so fast. Sure enough, after searching for a while, more than 300 divine deity were scattered on the ruins. These divine deity were all damaged to varying degrees, but Lin Fei did not care, as long as the divine deity could be upgraded. Continue. Discovered 120 divine deity. Discovered 531 divine deity. Discovered 811 divine deity. In the depths of the sealed land, a black shadow kept moving. The sky full of attacks did not affect the black shadow at all, and the black shadow came and went as he pleased. This feels great. This feels great. This time, I'll just push whoever I want. The black shadow laughed as he moved. The number of divine deity in the depths of the seal was also much more than usual. Every time it was discovered, it was a large piece of divine deity. According to the Little Devil's analysis, it should have exploded inside the storage ring. Lin Fei collected hundreds of divine deity in one go, and when he was lucky, he could also harvest more than 1,000 divine deity. The total number of divine deity also quickly broke through. First 50,000, then 100,000, 200,000. And this was just the beginning. For the first time, Lin Fei was extremely serious about his work. After learning spatial techniques, his movements also became faster. 10 hours later, the number of divine deity broke through to 1 million. When there were 1 million divine deity, Lin Fei could not be more excited. The dragon race was really rich. Fortunately, it was in the sealed land, otherwise, he did not know who these divine deity would be given to cheaply. Now that he had collected 1 million divine deity for free, where else could he find such a good deal? Little Devil, calculate how many more divine deity can be collected here. What dragon god convention outside? Lin Fei had forgotten about it. The consumption of invincibility points? Lin Fei did not care about it. What he cared about the most now was divine deity, the more the better. After all, such a place was not easy to find. Calculate for master immediately. The Little Devil quickly began to calculate, and in a few seconds the results came out. Master, I just calculated, this place can still collect 373 million divine deity. Wahahaha, there's still so much. My high-grade divine weapon, high-grade divine armor, cultivation technique upgrade, heavenly god guardian, all of them. Lin Fei beamed with joy. If Master wants to collect all of them, you will need to consume about 300,000 divine deity. The little devil gave a small blow. 300,000 it is. It took a full day and a half. Lin Fei put away all the divine deity in the sealed land. During this period, he also used 300,000 divine deity to convert invincibility points, otherwise, not everyone could withstand the violent attack. After collecting all of them, Lin Fei came out of the sealed land, released the battle fortress, and flashed in. How many days does the Dragon God Convention usually last? Lin Fei asked as soon as he entered. It has always been 3 days, of which the first 2 days are for the younger generation to spar, and the last day is for the main event. Sixth Dragon King said without hesitation. Then let them be happy for 2 more days, we will go on the 3rd day. Now I have something to deal with, please do as you please. Oh right, we are not in the sealed land now, but outside, if you want to go out, you can go out directly. After saying that, Lin Fei ran to his private secret room and went into seclusion. The group was stunned, and when they came to their senses, Lin Fei had disappeared without a trace. Little Nine, you followed the right person. Even a place like the sealed land can't do anything to Di Tian. The dragon god may not be able to suppress him. This time, maybe we can really vent our anger. In the secret room, Lin Fei saw the final number. 5 million divine deity. Now level up. Lin Fei clicked on the level up page and released 5 9-stars heavenly gods to protect him. This was called better safe than sorry. Ding. Congratulations player on becoming a 6-star heavenly god. Ding. Congratulations player on becoming a 7-star heavenly god. Ding. Congratulations player on becoming an 8-star heavenly god. Chapter 1791. Dragon City Territory, Dragon City. Today was a busy day, and the entire city was filled with a lively atmosphere. This was because today was the day of the Dragon God Convention. All the leaders of the top sects and forces in the territory had come to the Dragon God territory in person, and they had brought the younger generation of their clans with them. Geniuses that were usually not seen could be seen today. Young Master Luo Xian of the Righteous Sect is here. My idol. Young Master Luo Xian is no idol. My idol is Di Tian. He's the real idol, the great hero. How dare you talk about the 10 heavenly gods? Someone immediately said disdainfully. Bullsh *T. Di Tian kills people like flies. What idol is he? Yes, who does Di Tian think he is? If he's that good, come to our territory and we'll see who takes care of who. It had to be said that Di Tian's influence was unprecedented. The young people were the most affected. Di Tian had walked the path of slaughter. He had offended many of the 8 great sects and 7 overlords, and now he was living a good life. Some time ago, he had even wiped out the World Chamber of Commerce's branch, and the Chamber of Commerce had not said a word. Wasn't that awesome? Then what was awesome? Di Tian was worshipped by the young people. Even he didn't know that he had a group of admirers, and quite a few of them. If someone insulted Di Tian, it was the same as making life difficult for them. From time to time, a war of words would break out in the crowd, and neither side would spare the other. This topic was also discussed enthusiastically by many people. Dragon City Plaza. Huge statues were erected in the center of the city. There were a total of 28 statues, and each statue was 9,999 zhang tall. They were like towering mountains, and their auras were majestic. These statues were of the dragon gods of the past. The statues of the dragon gods of each generation would appear here. There were 28 dragon gods in the dragon god territory now. Today, there were many platforms suspended in the air in the Dragon City Plaza. Each platform was of different heights, and the higher one was, the more powerful they were. The top 8 sects, 7 overlords, the strongest races, and other top forces were on the top level. Below them were first-rate sects, second-rate sects, and so on. Many forces were discussing on the platforms. This was because something big had happened. Old Ghost, have you heard? The eldest son of the Dragon God has been killed. Impossible, right? The Dragon God's eldest son seems to be called Long Ikuan. His talent is extremely monstrous, and his bloodline is extremely high. How could he be killed? Who would dare to kill someone at this time? You wouldn't believe me even if I told you, but the person who killed Long Ikuan was the Tian overlord who rose to power the most recently. And it seems like he killed him in the Dragon God Dominion. The person said mysteriously. Oh my god, Tian is so daring. Didn't he completely offend the dragon race? Heh, what kind of person is Tian? He's numb to killing. Who doesn't he dare to kill? He's even killed a few of the 10 great young masters. Didn't he sweep through the World Commerce Association's branch a while ago? Tian is too frightening. He's going to offend all the major forces in the territory. This kind of thing had basically never stopped. The families on the high platform also knew about it immediately. Tian was once again shocked by such a major event. Why did he have to kill the eldest son of the Dragon God? That was the future successor of the Dragon God. This was a grave offense to the Dragon God, and the Dragon God would never let Tian off so easily. This is too crazy. On a high platform in the distance, a few young people sat. Their auras were dignified, and they were all at the Sky God realm. Tian is courting death. He won't be able to be arrogant for long this time. What do you mean? Is there some inside information? The young people sat together in a circle. Brother Luo, you're the smartest one among us. How do you think the Dragon God will resolve this matter? I heard that Tian is in the Dragon God Dominion. The entire Dragon God Dominion has been locked down. As long as Tian shows himself, the experts of the dragon race will chase after him immediately, a man in white said to someone. Luo Xian was also impressed by Tian. Not only did he sweep through the World Commerce Association's branch, but he also killed Long Ikuan and offended the Dragon God. Wasn't he tired of living? That's hard to say. We know what kind of person the Dragon God is and what he thinks. I can only say that Tian is really in big trouble this time. Luo Xian laughed. I heard that the geniuses of the strongest races are also looking for Tian to kill him. I wonder if you've heard about it. Dongfang Wan, who was sitting beside Luo Xian, said. The young people's expressions changed slightly. You're talking about the barbarian man Kuang of the Raging Bull race, Fairy Fei Feng of the Phoenix race, Tian Wuxing of the Heavenly Wings race, and Zhu Kuan of the Giant race. Other than them, there are a few others, and they're all monstrous geniuses of the strongest races. Ha, it seems like we don't have to do anything. Tian is really in trouble this time. Look, the Dragon God is here. The Dragon God's golden armor appeared out of thin air. The domineering aura of the Dragon God shocked everyone. The Dragon God of this generation seemed to be getting stronger and stronger. The Dragon God walked over and landed on one of the high platforms, facing the crowd. The crowd immediately quietened down. I'm the Dragon God. The 4 simple words were filled with endless domineering arrogance. The dragon race couldn't help but cheer. All hail the Dragon God! All hail the Dragon God! In the blink of an eye, the cheers joined together. The voices of the dragon race echoed in the sky above Dragon City, reaching the entire Dragon God territory. The people who came to watch felt inexplicably shocked. The strongest race was indeed the strongest race. It was a terrifying existence that could make the 8 major sects and 7 overlords wary. The Dragon God's words raised the crowd's spirit. Today, I welcome everyone to the Dragon God territory and witness the sacred moment of the dragon race. I also admire the young people of this generation very much. The future belongs to you. The Dragon God's words were very simple. It gave people a very hot-blooded impulse. Even the Dragon God admitted that this generation was very good. Even though he didn't name anyone, it was still very exciting. In this sparring competition between the younger generation, this emperor will privately take out a high-grade god artifact and a high-grade god armor as a reward to the young prodigy in first place. The Dragon God's words undoubtedly shocked everyone. Private reward. The younger generation was very excited. All of them rubbed their palms, wanting to win first place. A superior grade divine weapon and a superior grade divine armor. Few people in the younger generation had them. Whoever won first place would be the strongest of the younger generation. The Dragon God's generosity also shocked the major forces. No one was willing to take out a high-grade god artifact and a high-grade god armor at once. But the Dragon God did it. The 8 major sects, 7 overlords, and other forces also brought their young people over. At this time, there was a strange look in their eyes. What was the Dragon God planning to do? He was actually willing to take out such a big reward to reward the first place. The big shots of the righteous sect also stood up and said, "Since the Dragon God has taken out his private reward, our righteous sect will also take out a gift to reward the second place. Everyone will be motivated." The big shots of the other forces were not fools. They also took out their treasures in the blink of an eye. Chapter 1792. Banished Dimension. Lin Fei went into closed-door training, leaving 9 dragons king and the rest behind. After a moment of absent-mindedness, the first to regain his senses was Long Aoshue. "Little 9, since fellow Taoist Di Tian has something to do, we can't just stand idly by. I remember that there are still some neutral experts in the sealed grounds. Just nice, we can recruit them into our forces and help you increase your strength." Long Aoshue and the rest were very confident in taking back the Dragon God position. With Senior Brother God King and 5 9-stars Heavenly Gods, who knew what other trump cards Di Tian had up his sleeves? Perhaps he really could regain control of the Dragon Tribe. While Di Tian was busy, Long Aoshue proposed to recruit the remaining experts. As the great elder of the Dragon Tribe, he understood Di Tian's importance. It was a good thing that Little 9 was following Di Tian. He already saw Di Tian as the young master of a hidden family. The Dragon Tribe's foundation was deep, but it might not be comparable to the hidden family behind Di Tian. Sure. Long Aoshue and the rest went through the battle fort's exit. In the secret room, Lin Fei, after advancing to 9 stars Heavenly God, he didn't continue. Out of the 5 million godheads he only had 3 million left. A 9 stars Heavenly God needed 10 million godheads to advance to the God King realm. Lin Fei decided to put it aside for now. 2 million godheads was equivalent to 1 million Heavenly God shards. The ratio was 50 to 50 and the quality of the godheads was average. Lin Fei wasn't disappointed at all. Instead, he was satisfied. 1 million Heavenly God shards could be exchanged for 10,000 Heavenly Gods. This force could easily sweep through a large area. After advancing to 9 stars Heavenly God, Lin Fei felt his whole body brimming with power. "I want to draw a prize." With money one could spend lavishly. With 300 godheads, Lin Fei took out 1 million godheads to draw equipment. He wanted to equip the 5 9 stars Heavenly God. Otherwise, their attacks and realms wouldn't be able to match perfectly. This time, Lin Fei's luck was pretty good. With 1 million godheads, he had obtained more than 3,000 pieces of low-grade equipment, 800 pieces of mid-grade artifacts, 200 pieces of high-grade artifacts, and 39 pieces of supreme-grade Heavenly God artifacts. Lin Fei's face was full of smiles because of this, and he immediately changed into his top-grade Heavenly God equipment. The 5 9 stars Heavenly Gods also changed into their respective high-grade God equipment. At this moment, Dealing with the Dragon God's clone would be as easy as chopping melons and vegetables. The 2 million divine deity in his hands were also of great use to Lin Fei. It was very important to improve his own cultivation technique. But before that, Lin Fei still had one more thing to do. I want to activate the Great General. Lin Fei had never done this quest, but now he could finally do it. Ding! 100,000 godheads have been successfully consumed. The position of Great General has been activated. Lin Fei was very interested in this. Ding! The mighty invincible general has successfully activated. The originally gray position was now bright in color. Lin Fei opened the corresponding attribute page. Lin Fei clicked on it and couldn't help but take a deep breath. This is completely sucking blood. But I like this. On the page's attribute, player, Lin Fei position, mighty invincible general, level 1 can double your combat strength. Below it was a densely packed number of levels. Every time he increased his position, his combat strength would increase by several times. Lin Fei saw that the second level required 200,000 godheads, which could double his combat strength. Lin Fei didn't know how many levels this mighty invincible general had, but it was definitely a terrifying number. If he increased it by 10 levels, he would have 10 times the combat strength. How terrifying was that? What about 100 levels? 500 levels? He would probably be able to kill an expert in one move. This was simply a bottomless pit. 1,900,000 godheads would probably be used up after a few levels. Lin Fei could only retreat first. In front of this bottomless pit, he would forever be a pauper. Lin Fei couldn't help but sigh. It's better for me to study cultivation techniques. Lin Fei had been thinking about this for a long time. He opened the cultivation technique promotion page. God level 1 blade slash, 1-star combat strength. Primordial 18 clones, 1-star combat strength. Currently, these were the only 2 combat techniques recorded by the system. Lin Fei also blushed. God level 1 blade slash, primordial 18 clones must be upgraded too. Lin Fei had 9 million godheads, so he didn't have to worry. Even though Lin Fei had the method to upgrade primordial 18 clones, he wasn't at ease. He might as well use godheads to upgrade it. First upgrade to God level 1 blade slash. Lin Fei liked the domineering saber technique, but its power was average at the moment. Ding, upgrade failed. Ding, upgrade failed. Ding, upgrade failed. It wasn't as easy as he thought. When he upgraded 1-star combat strength to 2 stars, he used a total of 200,000 godhead. God level 1 blade slash became 2 stars combat strength. This made Lin Fei dumbfounded. He failed a total of 200 times. The success rate of upgrading wasn't just low. Lin Fei could only grit his teeth and bear with it. Looking at the upgraded cultivation technique to 2 stars combat strength, Lin Fei smiled. His attack power had indeed increased by a lot, several times more than before. With 1 slash, his combat strength was very terrifying, and the consumption of divinity points was also huge. He estimated that 1 slash would consume 50 million divinity points. Before, 1 slash would consume at most 10 million divinity points. Continue. Upgrading from 2 stars combat strength to 3 stars combat strength didn't require 1,000 godheads, but 3,000 godheads. To upgrade to 3 stars combat strength, Lin Fei used 500,000 godheads, and the consumption of divinity points also changed from 50 million to 100 million divinity points. Lin Fei also had 1 million godheads left. This consumption is really killing me. God level 1 blade slash. Upgrading to 3 stars combat strength, Lin Fei used 700,000 godheads, which could be used to upgrade by 1 level. Upgrading the saber technique to 3 stars combat strength, 1 slash of 100 million divinity points, Lin Fei was quite satisfied. Next, he rushed to the 18 primordial god clones. His divine clones were all 1-star celestial gods, and his main body was now 9 stars celestial god. The effect of the fusion of the 18 celestial god clones was not great, so he had to upgrade. Ding, upgrade failed. Ding, upgrade failed. Ding, upgrade failed. 18 primordial god clones. Upgrading was more difficult than God level 1 blade slash. After using a total of 1 million godheads, the 18 primordial god clones upgraded to 2 stars combat strength. Black, this is too black. Why do they all need the same cultivation technique? Lin Fei was very unhappy. He had originally planned to upgrade to 3 stars, but now he couldn't. Ding, replying to the player, because the 18 primordial god clones are auxiliary combat strength. The upgrade requirements are harsh, please forgive me. Lin Fei blinked and the system replied. Upgrade requirements are harsh? Lin Fei's thoughts were not good. Didn't this mean that in the next upgrade, without tens of millions of godheads, it would be impossible to upgrade to 9 stars celestial god? With great difficulty, he cast aside the thought and opened the 18 primordial god clones to take a look. After seeing it, Lin Fei almost blacked out. Chapter 1793. In just a day's time, Lin Fei came out. When he came out, the battle fort was empty, not a single person could be seen. Lin Fei put away the battle fort and scanned the place with his divine sense. He couldn't help but smile. With his powerful divine sense as a 9 stars heavenly god, he could see the entire banished space. So, they went to recruit heavenly gods. At this time, in the banished space, Long Aoshue and the others were recruiting the heavenly gods one by one. Needless to say, the independent heavenly gods chose to be recruited. Everyone had seen the battle that day. 1,000 heavenly gods were swept clean by a god king in 2 or 3 moves. Now that Long Aoshue and the others were here, everyone knew what it meant. What made them even more excited was that they could finally leave the banished space. The recruitment process only took half a day. By the time Lin Fei came out, the recruitment process had come to an end. It didn't take long for them to return. There were 107 people who had been recruited. These loose fiends who were able to stand on their own were all astonishingly powerful. Little 9, open the barrier. Let's leave this place. Lin Fei did not say anything to those people. Instead, he ordered 9 Dragons King to open the barrier and leave the banished space. Okay. 9 Dragons King was also quite excited. More than 100 heavenly gods had become much stronger. They were no longer alone. They took out their dragon god scepters and blasted open the barrier of the banished space. Dragon City. Ever since they received the dragon god's promise and the treasures provided by the big shot. This time's sparring session was undoubtedly exciting. Whether it was the strongest tribe, the 8 major sects, or the 7 overlords, the younger generation of their sects had performed very well. No one was willing to miss out on this opportunity. The strength of the younger generation was also quite shocking. Every young expert was extremely powerful, especially the monstrous geniuses of the strongest clans. Their battle prowess was terrifying. Every one of them had the battle prowess of a 4-star heaven god or a 5-star heaven god. Coupled with their powerful divine bodies, their battle prowess was even higher. The geniuses of the 8 sects and 7 overlords were slightly inferior. On the high platform, the big shots of the strongest tribe had the most pleasant expressions. Although it wasn't overwhelming, the influence of the strongest race couldn't be ignored. Dragon God Long Life and sat on the high platform with a faint smile on his face. He did not seem to be affected by the death of his eldest son. On the other hand, the 4 youngsters behind the stage looked rather excited. They were the sons of Long Liefen, and their talent was actually quite good. After learning of the death of their big brother, they pretended to be very sad, but their hearts were blooming with joy. Finally, there was one less strong competitor, and the position of the dragon god's successor would be born among the 4 of them. Now, what they needed to do was to show their strong side and leave a good impression in the eyes of their imperial father. A spar between the younger generation was undoubtedly the best opportunity. For instance, the one on the stage right now was the genius of the Titan race, Giant Barbarian. He was born with amazing divine strength and was most proficient in strength. He was also a master of close combat. Is there anyone else? Jew Man was tall and burly, and his face was ferocious. His killing intent soared into the sky, and one look was enough to tell that he was a bloodthirsty person, which was why he had left behind such a heavy killing intent. Let me! Long Chengwang shouted, and his dragon might soared into the sky. He flew down from the back and landed on the central fighting stage. I've long heard that Brother Giant has amazing divine strength. I've long wanted to experience it for myself. Jew Man threw his head back and laughed. I've also long heard of the second prince's great name. Today we can have a showdown. Boom. The fight between the two strongest races truly shocked the major factions. In comparison, the disciples of the 8 major sects and the 7 overlords were much weaker in terms of strength. Brother Long, your son is not bad. He probably won't be long from becoming a 5-star celestial god. You have a successor, Sky Fox said with a smile. With the explosive power of the dragon race, his combat strength will increase by quite a bit. Tian Yitzi also said. Long Liefen said indifferently, Chengwang's talent is not bad, but he's a bit clumsy. It won't be long before he breaks through to his current realm. Even though his eldest son had died, Long Liefen did not show much sorrow on his face. His talent was not bad, but death was death. Compared to the 9 Dragon Kings' return, his eldest son's death was not a big deal. As long as they could capture the 9 Dragon King and obtain the Dragon God Scepter, that was the most important matter at the moment. If they could capture Di Tian, that would be even better. The dragon race would also rise to the top, becoming the strongest race. Long Chengwang fought in close combat from the start, completely head-on. Fortunately, there were restrictions around, blocking the shockwaves. Otherwise, the people outside would be affected. Jew Man was quickly defeated by Long Chengwang. His injuries were not heavy, and the giants helped him back. Long Chengwang was also very proud of himself. This was just the beginning. Brother Long, I'll fight you. On a high platform in the east, a fiery figure rushed down, and an earth-shattering heat swept out. The flame race's genius, Yen Jiu. Yen Jiu was also a celestial god, and his cultivation was not low. He was already a 4-star celestial god. As soon as he landed on the stage, waves of heat rushed out, burning through the void. Please advise me. Not a problem. The two also made their moves. Dragon City is in front. The battle fort moved rapidly in the void. Dragon City also appeared in their vision. Seeing Dragon City again, Long Aoshue and the others sighed. Ever since they were imprisoned in the banished space, they had not seen Dragon City for a long time. We're back. We're finally back. I didn't expect that we would return one day. The ones who said these words were all dragon race experts imprisoned in the banished space. Over the long years, the dragon race experts had either died or fallen. They never thought that they would be able to leave one day. At the same time, they saw hope again. Their gazes all landed on the young man. Perhaps they could even live in Dragon City again. Another excited one was 9 Dragon King, who could return to the Dragon God domain in his lifetime. We're back. 9 Dragon King also sighed. 6 Dragon Kings were very excited. Long Liefen has been the Dragon God for so long, and now he has to relinquish his position. I really want to see how his face will look later. Master, should we charge in or? 9 Dragon King asked. Lin Fei snapped his fingers. Charge for what? We came all the way here, so we should at least come out to welcome us, right? First battle, fire. The battle fort appeared in the sky, its pitch-black cannons aimed at Dragon City. First Battle adjusted the cannons and fired them at Dragon City. Boom, boom, boom. A terrifying aura filled the sky, blasting at every corner of Dragon City. As soon as the aura appeared, the experts on the stage reacted. The 7 overlords in particular had ugly expressions. Not good, it's the battle fort's attack. Damn it, it must be Tion. Chapter 1794. Dragon City hadn't activated its formations yet. The strongest races had always been confident that no one would dare invade Dragon City. They wouldn't activate the formations at a time like the Dragon God Convention. The reason was simple. The strongest race represented absolute strength. As the terrifying beams of light descended, all the buildings in Dragon City collapsed and turned into rubble. Dust flew everywhere. More than 10 dragon statues in the plaza were instantly destroyed. The scene was a mess. The spectating immortals fell into chaos and dodged in all directions. There weren't many attacks aimed at them. The focus of the attacks was on the factions on the platforms. Outrageous. Tion, you're courting death. On one of the platforms, a powerhouse was enraged. He took out a lush green tree and placed it in front of the platform. The tree's branches swayed, blocking the beams of light. On the other side of the platform was where the giants were. Seeing that it was an attack from the battle fortress, the giants were enraged. Their bodies expanded, turning into a 300-meter-tall giant. They punched towards the beam of light, shattering it into pieces. On the high platform, everyone present was a great figure. They all reacted quickly without any hesitation. When the attacks arrived, they all took out their treasures to block, cursing Tion for being shameless and firing at them from afar. Some couldn't dodge in time and were killed by the beams. The 9th and 6th Dragon Kings sucked in breaths of cold air. They'd charged in. Now, they weren't even on the same level as Tion. Over 100 beams of light would ruin the Dragon God Convention. They couldn't bring themselves to do such a thing. Only Tion wasn't afraid of being torn apart by the angry powerhouses. Tion, how dare you attack my Dragon City? Long Fun recalled Tion's return. His 9th brother was clearly in cahoots with Tion, but he hadn't expected Tion to come in such a way and catch everyone off guard. Boom! Boom! Long Liefin rushed into the sky, and his golden armor also appeared. He punched towards the beam of light, blasting it apart. With a wave of his hand, 7 or 8 beams of light were destroyed, and he rushed out of the Dragon City Plaza. Lin Fei also appeared in the sky above the battle fort. He stepped on the giant battle fort and laughed, "Haha, I've always been bold. You just realize that now? Oh right, I just killed a doppelganger not long ago. It should be you, no wonder you look so familiar." At this point, the battle fort's attack also stopped. The experts in the Dragon City Square also rushed out one after another. When had these major characters ever been in such a sorry state before? If it wasn't for them acting to defend, the genius disciples they brought might have all been heavily injured. When they saw Tion on the battle fortress, their eyes gleamed with coldness. Tion, what do you mean by this? Do you really think that the Demon Profound sect is easy to bully? Tion, you have to give us an explanation today. Otherwise, you don't have to leave. Many of the 8 sects didn't have a good impression of Tion, but they couldn't do anything to him. Now that they saw an opportunity, they naturally targeted Tion. Many of the 7 overlords, such as the Sunluo Overlord and the Frosty Shade Overlord, looked at Tion with cold killing intent. This bastard was really capable of doing anything. However, as soon as they finished speaking, they heard Tion's words and couldn't help but be shocked. The doppelganger of the Dragon God was killed? Was this for real? This was explosive news. There was no doubt that the Dragon God was powerful. A simple doppelganger could reach the level of a 9 stars god. This was the advantage of being the strongest race. Large amounts of resources could be accumulated to become powerful. And now, the doppelganger of the Dragon God was killed by Tion? This was indeed a shocking piece of news. Since when was Tion's strength so terrifying that he could kill a 9 stars god's doppelganger? This improvement was too fast. They wouldn't believe it even if they were beaten to death. There wasn't much anger on Long Liefen's face. Tion, you are indeed powerful. However, that was because I was careless and was ambushed by 5 9 stars god. Now that I'm here in person, do you think you still have a chance? Long Liefen laughed. Everyone was shocked by his words. Tion had 5 9 stars gods by his side? Damn it, what kind of background did he have? The battle prowess of a single 9-star heaven god was already extremely terrifying, let alone 5 9-star heaven gods. They would definitely be able to kill whoever they wanted. The fact that the dragon god had named Tion made everyone heave a sigh of relief. Now that they were prepared, they didn't have to worry about Tion ambushing them. Tion, you killed my eldest son, Long Ikuan, killed my doppelganger, and bombarded Dragon City. Any one of these is unforgivable. Long Liefen suddenly raised his voice. However, you are the 8th overlord. I can let bygones be bygones as long as you hand over the traitor behind you. On the battle fort, Lin Fei wasn't the only one there. 9 dragon kings, 6 dragon kings, Great Elder, and the rest were also there. At this time, everyone finally noticed the person behind Tion. Especially the kings of the dragon race. It's him. 9 dragon kings are back. And 6 dragon kings. Isn't that the Great Elder from back then? How did they become traitors? Many of the dragon tribe recognized the person on the battle fort, and they exchanged glances. Those who could recognize the 9 dragon kings were old people from back then. Now, almost no one recognized the 9 dragon kings or the Great Elder. Lin Fei snickered. This dragon god's thoughts aren't simple. On the surface, he seems to respect my identity, but in reality, he wants to force me to hand over the 9 dragon kings. In the end, it's all for the dragon god scepter. Once he gets the dragon god scepter, I'm afraid the first thing he'll do is deal with me. Only an idiot would fall for it. Long Liefen, who are you calling a traitor? 6 dragon kings sneered. Who colluded with outsiders to seize the dragon god's position? To think you have the cheek to say it. Even I feel embarrassed for you. 6 dragon kings had been holding back these words for a long time. Now that he finally had the chance to say it, he no longer had to worry about anything. Don't think I don't know. My bloodline's people are killed from time to time. In fact, it's all because of you. My royal city isn't being suppressed by you, but a branch bloodline. What right do you have to suppress my bloodline? Do you think I don't know anything? 6 dragon kings raged. Long Liefen sounded very disappointed. Little 6, you really disappoint me. If I wanted to deal with you, your bloodline wouldn't have existed back then. Why wait until now? You can blame me, resent me, and I won't take it to heart. But what you shouldn't have done is colluding with the traitors of the dragon tribe. Really, you disappoint me. The dragon god wasn't simple. With a simple sentence, he had labeled 6 dragon kings as traitors. Another meaning was, how could a traitor's words be trusted? Chapter 1795. Dragon City. After Tion used the battle fortress to bombard the city, the entire Dragon City fell into panic. The dragon race knew about Tion's ferocious name. They also knew that the battle fortress was a weapon of war created by the battle race. It was terrifyingly powerful, especially when used for long-range attacks. Everyone was very cautious. No one knew how many trump cards Tion had, or how long he could activate the battle fortress. The dragon race, who were proud of their powerful physical bodies, did not dare to face the battle fortress head-on. The battle fortress could easily blast them into pieces. Following the appearance of the 9 dragon kings, the entire dragon race was in an uproar. The 6 dragon kings venting had more or less won the approval of some of the dragon race. Now, another familiar person had appeared. The dragon race's people widened their eyes. Heavens, didn't they say that the Great Elder was dead? Why is he here now? Could it be that what happened back then was true? Brother, what happened back then? There's going to be a good show. What happened back then had more or less spread out, but it was quickly refuted by others. After a long time, not many people knew about it. They either died of old age or died outside. Many people in the dragon race were curious. The 8 great sects and the 7 overlord leaders also revealed strange expressions. They understood what had happened, and all of them started gossiping. What happened back then could be hidden from others, but it could not be hidden from them. There were more or less traces of it. At that time, the dragon god had just ascended to the throne, and he had refuted all the rumors. Moreover, he had done it secretly, so no one could find anything. Now that the great elder and the 9 dragon kings had appeared, they felt that a good show was about to begin. Long Aushua stared coldly at Long Liefin. If he had not been tricked back then, he would not have been trapped in the exiled space. He thought that he would die of old age in the sealed space, but now that he had the chance to come out, his hatred for Long Liefin grew even greater. Because he had been imprisoned in the exiled space, Long Aushua had lost the right to advance. He had been stuck at this level for the rest of his life, and he was filled with hatred for Long Liefin. Long Liefin's expression did not change, and he said indifferently, "My 9th brother, you're really interesting. Did you think that finding a fake Grand Elder would be enough? Looks like you've really put in a lot of effort. Who doesn't know about the Grand Elder's heroic sacrifice? Not just me, but Barbarian Bull Race's Taoist Barbarian Bull, Heavenly Fox Z of Heavenly Fox Z, Heavenly Wings Race's Heavenly Yeetzy. They all saw it with their own eyes. It can't be fake. Your shameless methods disappoint me." Long Aushua almost coughed up blood in anger. "Brother Dragon, you're right. I hate shameless people the most. Back then, when the Great Elder fell, I saw it with my own eyes. I didn't expect that after so long, someone would come out to slander the Great Elder's reputation. I think this person should be killed." Barbarian Bull glared at him. "Do you want me to help you catch him? Let's see who dares to impersonate the name of the Great Elder." Interesting. Who would have thought that the traitor from back then would dare to come back? Heavenly Foxy shook his head. "Brother Dragon, this traitor must be dealt with. Otherwise, who knows what the outside world will say about your dragon race?" 2 big shots stood out one after another, pointing fingers at the traitor. The people below couldn't help but become suspicious. The dragon god ruled over the dragon race, and his influence was great. Dragon god, that person isn't the Great Elder at all. I hope that I can kill him. The 9th and 6th dragon kings have betrayed the dragon race. They must be suppressed. And that Tion must be suppressed as well. How can our dragon race tolerate an outsider messing around? Behind the dragon god, several kings stood out. These people were all of the royal bloodline, and they were also Long Liefin's people. At this moment, all of them were glaring at the dragon god with murderous intent. It seemed that as long as the dragon god gave the order, they would be the first to act. Long Aushua hadn't expected such an outcome. He was clearly a living person, but now he was being called a fake. This was the most unacceptable thing to him. "This old man will kill you." How could the furious Long Aushua stand it? He wanted to kill them. "Great Elder, bear with it, don't do anything." 9 Dragons King pulled the Great Elder back. "He's forcing you to act. He wants to kill you so that there's no evidence." 9 Dragons King was also furious at this outcome. Long Liefin's expression was still calm, and he said indifferently, "9th brother, you're still too childish. Since you're here, don't leave today." Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Suddenly, more than 100 heavenly gods of the dragon race rushed out from the void. Their terrifying auras shook the various forces, big and small. As soon as these heavenly gods appeared, they surrounded Tion and the others. The weakest heavenly god among the Dragon Clan's experts was a 3-star heavenly god, and the strongest ones were 8-star heavenly gods. There were a total of 15 heavenly gods, each of them guarding a different position, staring at the crowd. The 9 dragons King Ching was the main focus, a total of 20 divine senses locked onto the 9 dragons King. Clap, clap, clap. Suddenly, Lin Fei clapped his hands and the sound echoed in the sky. Dragon God, I have seen a lot of shameless people. You can be considered to be one of the more shameless ones. You can turn white into black. You are quite amazing. However, do you really think that these people can stop us? Lin Fei laughed loudly. Di Tian, you killed an elder of the demon mystic sect. Do you really think no one can stop you? Zhong Mo Shan, the former sect leader of the demon mystic sect, said to Di Tian. Brother Long, this person has a huge grudge against the demon mystic sect. You won't mind if I take action. The demon mystic sect hated Di Tian quite a bit. How could they miss out on an opportunity like this? Furthermore, Di Tian had a huge secret, especially the clone technique, which was worth taking action. The Bliss Palace counts as well. The middle-aged man in red with peach eyes said coldly as well, glaring at Di Tian. That man was the palace lord of the Bliss Palace, a sky palace level being. Don't think that we don't know about your trump card. Your clone is but a 1-star celestial god. You won't be able to escape today. A hint of displeasure flashed across Long Liefen's face, but he quickly returned to normal, as if nothing had happened. Di Tian, did you see that? If you hand over the traitor of the Dragon Clan, I won't do anything to you. Otherwise, you really won't be able to leave this territory. Long Liefen laughed. Di Tian was not worth his attention. As long as he took down the 9 Dragon Kings, he would have plenty of time to deal with them. Lin Fei glanced at the demon mystic sect. I advise you guys not to interfere or you'll regret it today. I promise. No one understood why Di Tian was so confident at a time like this. Was he really not afraid of being surrounded? Although the other forces had not taken action yet, who knew if they would? Lin Fei suddenly turned around and scolded the Dragon God. Dragon God, who do you think you are? With just your subordinates? You want to compete in numbers? Why don't you try and see who has more people? There were hundreds of powerful heavenly gods, but Lin Fei did not take them seriously. Celestial God Army, come out. Chapter 1796. Boom, boom, boom. Their auras were even thinner than the hundreds of heavenly gods from before. Killing auras merged together. In the blink of an eye, they appeared behind Lin Fei, forming a black mass. There were at least 1,000 of them. So many heavenly gods! Look, their cultivation levels are terrifying. 9 stars heavenly gods, 8 stars heavenly gods, and 8 stars heavenly gods. What the hell? Why does Di Tian have so many helpers? Didn't they say that he only has 18 clones? What a terrifying Di Tian! Lin Fei summoned more than 1,000 heavenly gods in an instant. The large number of heavenly god fragments allowed Lin Fei to summon an army of heavenly gods. The number of 9 stars heavenly gods increased as well, reaching more than 100. As for 8 stars heavenly gods, there were also about 1,000. Since he wanted to shock people, Lin Fei summoned the strongest 8 stars heavenly gods and 9 stars heavenly gods. Their terrifying auras were like behemoths, causing the 8 major sects and 7 overlords to breathe heavily. Looks of disbelief appeared on their faces. The murderous auras made their scalps go numb. Shameless guy, why don't you give it a try and see if you're stronger, or if I'm stronger? Lin Fei laughed and glanced at Zhong Mozhan. You sounded pretty arrogant just now. I wonder if you'll still have the courage to do so later. And your Bliss Palace, I just killed a few heavenly gods and you dared to jump out. Do you really think I'm a pushover? More than 1,000 heavenly gods stood behind him. The murderous aura was enough to shock the big shots of Dragon City. Long Liefen predicted that his 9th brother would come and secretly arranged a group of experts, waiting for his 9th brother to take the bait. As expected, his 9th brother came. Even though he had hooked up with Di Tian, he did not take it to heart. Everything was under his control. The Great Elder and the others were useless in front of power. However, the appearance of more than 1,000 heavenly gods interrupted Long Liefen's plan without any warning. The black mass of heavenly deities caused Long Liefen's scalp to turn numb. Earlier, when he swept his gaze over, all of these 9-star heavenly deities weren't weak at all. How could such a tyrannical force be in Tion's hands? What background did this fellow have exactly? No matter how powerful Long Liefen was, facing so many gods, he still couldn't handle it, because he could see that these gods were all wearing mid-grade divine armors, or even low-grade divine armors. Thinking of the invincible weapon auction that had caused such a commotion, Long Liefen's heart sank. The others were not feeling well either. The killing intent of the heavenly god powerhouse swept towards them. They had no choice but to prop up their auras to block this continuous killing intent. Their expressions became ugly. The demon mystic sect leader Zong Moshan's expression was one of the uglier. The elder's voice rang out in his ears. Sect leader, we're finished. That bastard, why did he pull out such a group without us knowing? Zong Moshan had indeed seen an opportunity, so he stood up and prepared to teach Tion a lesson. Even though this wasn't the demon mystic sect's territory, with the face of the 8 great sects, the dragon god wouldn't dare to not give face. He might even be very willing to take action himself. If he acted quickly and captured Tion, the dragon god wouldn't be able to say anything. However, in the blink of an eye, the situation changed. Tion, who seemed to be trapped, pulled out a group of heavenly gods. The powerful visual shock frightened Zong Moshan quite a bit. Taoist Tion, this is a misunderstanding. Our Bliss Palace was just joking. Gong Tianlevel's reaction was the fastest. Facing so many heavenly gods, even he wasn't confident in dealing with them. Moreover, these heavenly gods weren't simple. When Zong Moshan heard this, he secretly cursed Gong Tianlevel for being shameless. He actually dared to say that it was a misunderstanding. His skin was really thick. Who was the one who said that he wanted to teach Tion a lesson? Now, he didn't want to admit it. The few sects and overlords at the back were secretly glad that they didn't stand up. Who would have thought that Tion would be so amazing? He brought a group of experts with him, and they were almost tricked. The people behind Lin Fei were also incomparably shocked. The divine kings had already been shocked once before, and now, a group of heavenly deities had appeared. This was just too ridiculously powerful. More importantly, they had never seen these people appear before. If it wasn't for the fact that they had seen Tion's senior brother, the 9 Dragons King, and the others might not be able to take it. At the same time, they really saw hope. Lin Fei smiled and said, "If you say it's a misunderstanding, then it's a misunderstanding. But if I slashed you, then is it a misunderstanding? You don't know, but I'm very easily frightened. Your words just now made me very unhappy. I'm wondering if I should kill you." As the sect leader of one of the 8 major sects, when had Gong Tianlevel ever been looked down upon by a junior like this? Unfortunately, he didn't have the confidence to retort. The dense crowd of heavenly gods was like a sharp sword hanging over his head at all times. Misunderstanding, it must be a misunderstanding. Gong Tianlevel suppressed his anger. You can just say that it's a misunderstanding. Lin Fei was still dissatisfied. However, I'm quite easy to negotiate. As long as you prepare 1,000,000 godheads for me, I can pretend that nothing happened. Gong Tianlevel didn't want to get involved in trouble. At least not at this moment. 1,000,000 godheads caused Gong Tianlevel to suck in a breath of cold air. Godheads were good and could be used to nurture heavenly gods, but they weren't that easy to nurture. Tion wanted 1,000,000 godheads. Was he really going to eat them like rice? Brother Tion, 1,000,000 godheads is too much. Our sect can't afford it. Gong Tianlevel didn't want to offend Tion at the moment. Lin Fei didn't believe what Gong Tianlevel said and shook his head. Brother Gong, you're the sect leader of one of the 8 major sections. Don't tell me a sect doesn't have 1,000,000 godheads? You don't have to lie to me. Who doesn't know that the 8 major sects are all filthy rich? 1,000,000 godheads is nothing. Gong Tian Level gritted his teeth at D. Tian. 1,000,000 godheads was something he could afford, but it was still a huge sum. The Bliss Palace really didn't want to fork out that much. However, D. Tian had shown off his abilities. Gong Tian Level had yet to figure out how to deal with him if they were to make a move later. As for the other sects, they would probably leave at once and even attack him in secret. They would be happy to have one less sect leader. 1,000,000 godheads I'll pay. Gong Tian Level gritted his teeth and decided to let D. Tian keep it for now. However, I only have 300,000 godheads on me right now. You can have that first, and I'll send the rest to you later. 300,000 godheads? That's not bad. Lin Fei chose to ignore the words that were sent to him later. I'll believe you this once. Gong Tian Level stored 300,000 godheads in his storage ring. Lin Fei took it after scanning it with his divine sense. He smiled and said, "All right, you can stand aside now. What happened today has nothing to do with you." Gong Tian Level really did step back. Zhongfeng Mountain didn't want to fight D. Tian either. Even if they were to fight, it wasn't now. Everyone knew that D. Tian was looking for trouble with the Dragon God.